Got it? Yeah, thank you.
Learning and education. They unite us worldwide. 80% of future jobs will require digital competency. Still, almost half of Europeans lack basic digital skills. In all stages of life, from school through to college and into the workplace, the key to success lies in acquiring new digital competencies. DigiEduHack was launched by the European Commission to develop innovative solutions to pressing challenges in digital education. For 24 hours, we will break continental barriers by connecting more than 50 organizations worldwide. 2,500 students, educators, researchers, and innovators will work around the globe to come up with groundbreaking and fresh innovations in digital learning. We want to know, what does the future of learning look like? Will students wear virtual reality headsets? Will teachers use big data to support learning? Together, we can impact the European Union's digital policy making and co-create the future of our education. Technology, data exploitation, access, availability, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, 3D printing. Skills international events. Join us as a postal participant to make
I think everybody is here already, right? Can start. Marcel is here. We have Dr. Cecilia. Not yet, no? It's not here. Dr. Subodh is here. Are you there? Yeah, okay, good. And then we have Dr. Sumedha. Yeah, we can start because I think we have 1 minute to go, but we can start because we need to also save time. Let's wait for 1 minute. Any newcomers today? No. Okay, so actually we are recording this session, so keep your videos on as much as possible. Keep the the mic muted, but videos on because we want to record this. And also some people we have to call you also. You also have requested to make your first name. Keep the mic muted. Yeah, and yeah. So first name and your role, participant, or maybe first name and the group name. And our staff members, we have their roles. So let me start at 6 o'clock. Yeah, keep the videos on, Dr. Sisira. And so good, yeah. So because this will be recorded and it will be shown only with the people with the videos. Okay, so welcome me. Let me officially welcome you, all of you here again for the online hackathon on DigiEdu 2021. We are the host number 42. From I'm connected for today from FabLab Makandura in Brunei district. So host is FabLanka Foundation, as you already know, and our challenge is how to introduce Industry 4 technologies for the youth in Sri Lanka. So we are very happy to have non-Sri Lankan groups also here. So welcome all the participants from Brunei, Nepal, and other than Brunei district in Sri Lanka, from different parts of Sri Lanka. We have our jury connected, Dr. Sela, Dr. Sumedha, Dr. Subodha, and Dr. Sisila. We have more judges. I think Chandani will introduce them formally later. So as you know, it's already in 24 sites in the world, in Europe, Asia, and other countries. This is already happening. In fact, at 6:30 Sri Lankan time, I have to connect to the main session and report them what we are doing here on behalf of you. So I want to go and come back again. Chandani will be taking care of you and ask, do all the. She's doing the hosting today. Marvelous job, connected from Brunei. So very quickly, I want to recognize the presence of our team. Maybe we start with Chandani. You can just say hi and raise your hand so that people know who you are. Virtual hand, raise the virtual hand, just say hi. And then we have Chaminda. Can you raise hand and say hi to the group? Keep your hands on, yeah. Chaminda, please switch hands on and say hi. Okay, and then we have Chintaka. Then we have Kavit. Uda is here. Hada Janu.
Hello,
okay.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, and who else we have? Do we have Neura? Neura is today also. She's there. Okay, raise your hand so that people know you, because they can ask questions or comment or chat. Also, participant, if you have any questions, use the chat function and ask anybody you want to, from everybody. Our host members will answer you relevant questions. Anybody else which I forgot? Okay, because we don't want judges to introduce now, because we will have formal introduction later. Since we all know each other, because we joined on Sunday for the briefing session, but this is recorded and this is the official meeting, so for recording also we need to introduce. So my name is Chaminda Hettiarachchi. I'm the advisor and also kind of coordinator and also co-host for the session today. So welcome you again. Let me very quickly go back to what we have been discussing about the challenge, about the hosting organization, and what we are planning to do today. So as you all already know and you have already registered, but let me share with you what's happening today and tomorrow around the world. DigiEduHack 2021. It's happening, I think, 52 events all over the world. 53 now, actually. I think Novik joined now. So you can see a diversity in terms of the cities, continents, and then online versus offline. As you can see here, Colombo 142 is ours. It's already full. We closed it last week. And this, in addition to that, the main event or central event is happening in Europe, in Slovenia. This is what I'm. It started, I think, 19 or 10 a.m. in the morning European time. So I'm going to connect with them and brief about what we are doing today. So these are the international the sponsors, and this is a European Union project and it's an annual project. So we'll also have this next year. Now let's go to our challenge. Again, there are 3 hosts from Sri Lanka. We are the most, let's say, the international and open challenge from Sri Lanka among 3. But we have even our group is diversified from 16 to 18 years, and then we have groups from Nepal, Brunei, and from Sri Lanka, altogether 10 groups. 7 will be presenting today and 3 will be doing tomorrow physically at FabLab. Now today I'm connected from the FabLab. As you can see, some of these devices are at my background. We have kind of 2 rooms. In another room we have all these 3D printers and everything. Unfortunately, I will not be able to show them today, maybe some other day. Right. So FabLanka Foundation is like a social enterprise, non-profit social enterprise, working to promote Industry 4 technologies. Actually, we introduced and pioneered the concept of Industry 4 in Sri Lanka from 2014. We incorporated our organization as a guaranteed limit in 2016, and 2017 we established this facility called FabLab Makandura. Our purpose is to have Fab Labs or similar facilities where you can make new products, use digital fabrication and other technologies, and empower people, mainly young people who want to do innovations out and entrepreneurship. So we want to demonstrate this by having this here, and also collaborating with other people to have this around the country, not only in Sri Lanka. I already got some inquiries to have 1,000 IT labs converted to the Fab Lab. So I'm excited about that. And also, if there are opportunities in Nepal and maybe in Brunei, we are very happy to have collaboration, and we have interest as well as facilities to do so. So this hosting this event is part of that process. We want to popularize, we want to encourage young people to understand, evaluate, and adapt Industry 4 in a positive manner. We know Industry 4 is not necessarily positive development. There are some lot of challenges, mainly to the developing country. So we have to learn about them. We have to adapt them positively while mitigating the possible challenges. So we are very happy to have as part of our public outreach that we have been able to host this up to now very successfully. Thank you all of you. So we started, we published the call and then closed the call on last Friday, and then we had two briefing sessions to juries and also to the participants on Sunday. And today we are having this online session, and tomorrow from morning to evening we'll have the session, physical session or on-site session at FabLab Makandura. And after that, you have to submit your final solution by tomorrow midnight, but I will talk about that at the end of the program. So as you already know, this competition will carry very small figures, just as symbol of your achievement. We will grant 3 prizes, but the most important thing is the grand winner, the #1 winner will be nominated to the international competition, and maybe 3 of them out of 54 now, 3 will be selected and given 5,000 euro cash prizes again. But all the participants who are here and who have registered under our challenge will be given a valuable certificate by the European Commission Central Committee. So these are the members, teams. You already know our judges. Some judges are already, jury are already here. Some are joining tomorrow. Some are, just maybe watching. And then we have our 2 project managers. Chandan is the person who is responsible for all the activities to have this event realized. Then we have Timira, who is the main organizer at FabLab Makandura event. We are very proud to have Junu from Nepal as a mentor, and Chintaka from Sri Lanka. 2 young newcoming guys, very smart people, 2 people I would say of 18 years doing A-levels, also as mentors, who did a lot of work in bringing you to this program. We have uploaded also some documents, the guidebook and everything. Please refer them. So this is our site. This is basically about our event. Since we already discussed previously what we have to do and all these activities, maybe I can very quickly share with you again the challenge very quickly in case if anybody missed. Let me share it. I have looked. Today, maybe first of all, I had to share with you the agenda, but I have several agendas. I have to check which one is the last one. If you have any questions, you can also type here. All right. I think this one is the last one. In case if I make any mistakes, Chandani will recorrect later. Right. So basically, this is my introduction. So our challenge is how to educate Sri Lankan youth from Industry 4.0 technologies. So today our hosts are myself and Chandani, and then after my introduction, there will be formal introduction of the jury, because we don't want to waste time today talking about ourselves or about the challenge itself, because we have already discussed them in advance, but we want to have time today for real performance by the participants. So basically, then we will hand this over to our honorable judges or jury members who will be doing the evaluation today. Dr. Asela, the head of Department of Manufacturing and Industrial Engineering from University of Peradeniya in Sri Lanka, will be the head chair of the panel, and we have Dr. Subodha from University of Brunei, Dr. Sumedha from Australia, and also Dr. Sisira from the industry. Chandani will formally introduce them. So we have allocated around 2 hours based on number of groups we have for the evaluation, and after the evaluation we will have also comprehensive wrap-up session. I will moderate that. Basically, Dr. Asela and his team will give overview about how you have performed, not your final scores, but some general remarks, and then you have a chance to share your experience, not what you did, but experience in terms of by being a participant of this hackathon, what you learn, for example, as participants. And then we also do time to share the ideas by the mentors, because they spend last few weeks helping you organizing and doing a lot of stuff. And then I will explain you what will happen from today, how to go forward, what are the future opportunities, and how you should submit your solution in addition to presentation. Most of you have already sent your PowerPoint. In case if you have difficulties, I'll try to help with you, but you have to present it by yourself. And finally, we will, with the vote of thank by Nora, we will finish. I think we will be able to finish it a bit earlier, but let's see how it goes. This is the agenda. Maybe I can also quickly show you. Also, maybe this one is actually now provided very recently by the cost in Europe. How you upload your solution, you can get it from the website directly. We can also help you, but all the instructions are given. Now, remember again, I will repeat again. In addition to your presentation, you have to upload your solution to an online form based on this field. Please refer that one, and we can also share this. So this is your final product. Okay, that's all I have to show here, but maybe if I could find the guide, and show that one for 2 months. Okay, this is good. I don't have it here, but maybe I can show from the screen. Yeah, from here. Chandani, how long I have? 5 minutes, no? Okay, I can say that one also.
Yes, you have 5 more minutes. Okay.
When you go to the resources in our site, maybe on then you have this video, but this one you might already watch it. Okay, download FabLanka participant guide. Maybe this one. Download something. Wrong. Wrong document. It doesn't matter. I think you have already seen this. I have already shown to you. the guide what you have to do today, but you already know. I wanted to show this for the screen in terms of completion. Yeah, it's not for some reason it's missing. Sorry, no, it's there, but we don't have to show that. They already know. It doesn't matter, but I will share also maybe in the chat function later. Okay, yeah, so that's it from my side. If you have any questions, you can chat, and I will hand over to Chandani to continue. Thank you very much. Chandani, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Chaminda. Good evening to everyone. Again, welcome you all to the hackathon and wishing you all the best. Let me introduce the jury. Our jury will be headed by Dr. Asela Kulatunga. So Dr. Asela is the head of Department of Manufacturing and Industrial Engineering, University of Peradeniya. He has a doctorate from University of Brunei, Germany, and also he has got his University of Technology, Sydney. He has got his PhD in engineering and BSc engineering in University of Peradeniya. We are really fortunate to have this much, the diversified and well-achieved panel of judges as our jury. Okay, welcome you, Dr. Asela. Next, let me introduce Dr. Sisira Ranatunga. So when you talk about Dr. Sisira, he's an industrialist. He's a director of manufacturing, Global Rubber Industries Private Limited. When you talk about his qualifications, he has got MSc in Polymer Nanotechnology, BSc Engineering, and also he's a doctorate in philosophy field of study of infinity, element modeling, and polymer composites. All right, welcome you, Doctor. Next, let me introduce the one and only lady in the jury, Dr. Sumedha Veerasekara. Dr. Sumedha, she's a lecturer at Charles University, Sydney, Australia. Sumedha has got her doctorate in related to entrepreneurial studies, and also her master's from University of Brunei, Darussalam, and also her degree from Sri Jayawardena University, Sri Lanka. Welcome you, Dr. Sumedha. Next, let me introduce Dr. Subodha Gunawardena. Dr. Subodha, he is a senior lecturer attached to Department of Electrical and Information Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Brunei. So Subodha has got his PhD from Waterloo University, Canada, and also he has got MSc Engineering from AIT Thailand, and also BSc Engineering from Moratuwa University, Sri Lanka. So 4 of them will be working as the judge, and the judge panel will be headed by Dr. Asela Kulatunga. Even though they're not present with us today, let me welcome Professor S.D. Patirana. Is the professor in production engineering, University of Peradeniya. He will be joining with us maybe later. Also, he will be working with us as a jury member for the on-site hackathon. So that will be held tomorrow at FabLanka Foundation, Kurunegala. Welcome you, Professor Patirana. Next, Dr. Darshana Samaravira is the Deputy Director General of National Institute of Education in Sri Lanka. So when you talk about his doctorate and his field of study, all are related to education. Welcome you, Dr. Darshana. He also will be working as on-site jury member. Last but not least, Mr. Priyantha Palapattala. He is a chartered engineer, and also he's a managing director of Mesa Engineering Private Limited. When you see our jury, you will see that they all are industry qualified as well as academically qualified and well, related to the context what we are talking about. Thank you again. Right. Next, let me brief you on some ground rules of today's session. So this is all related to the participants. As we know, this is an international competition. So
I think you are breaking. Chandani is breaking. Maybe switch off the video. Switch off the video, Chandani. Chandani, switch off the video, please. Your internet is
that's like you have to keep your mics and all mics always muted unless and until you are talking. Please keep it
Chandani,
muted.
can you hear me?
Always. Is
Chandani,
it? I think my internet connection.
Yeah,
Okay.
so switch off the video. Switch off the video and speak.
Yes. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but
yes.
your video
and
is
also,
off. Video
yes,
is off.
I can hear. Hello? It's
But your
already
video
switched
is
off.
stuck.
It's already off. Can you hear me now? Okay.
We can hear you,
Okay,
but
video is
your
off,
video
yes.
is stuck.
But I already switched off. Maybe the internet issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you make me the host?
Right. And also, I would like.
Can you make me the host? Okay. So I think Chandani can, write down the ground rules in the chat function. Let me hand over to the judges or jury, and then we will invite Dr. Asela. You can take over and continue. We have also host person for the jury, Dr. Smita, but Dr. Asela will continue. Go ahead with that. I have to now, with your permission, Dr. Asela, I have to go out for a few minutes and come back. Yeah, Dr. Asela, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chaminda. Thank you very much for introduction given by Chandani about the jury panel. So first of all, as the member from the jury of this competition, I would like to thank the main coordinator, Mr. Chaminda Hettiarachchi, for inviting me to serve in this competition. So when it comes to this type of events, I think this is a very timely event for Sri Lanka, especially because due to the COVID, I think whole country is now aligned towards one new direction. That's all about digitalization of all the activities we do. So I think though Industry 4.0 is started sometime back in Germany, but now it has come to our doorsteps while through various disciplines, domains, though it started from manufacturing or industrial sector initially. So therefore, since our education system also now aligned towards digitalization due to the COVID-related social distancing, I think having this kind of a competition worldwide is very timely topic and very timely as well. So especially bringing this kind of competitions to Sri Lanka, I think FabLanka Foundation has done a great job, especially to give locals as well as regional youngsters to compete in these kind of events, and then to provide their very valuable and I think very innovative and very attractive ideas among the global community, how Asia is ready for this kind of events. So I think this is a very unique and golden opportunity, and it's a good experience for me as well, because this is the first time I am joining with the FabLanka Foundation, though I know the team and many of the parties involved. So today we have a very eminent panel of judges from different part of the world, I would say. So all of them are very competent to evaluate your presentations and the kind of ideas. So that the panel basically consists of technical, engineering and non-engineering or management disciplines. I think that's the best combination we can ever have, because end of the day, whatever the technical or scientific idea you present, end of the day, it has to go to the industry, it has to go to the society. For that, actually you have to manage all the resources, necessary resources in an effective and efficient way. So therefore we will look at your presentations in the according to the guidelines, but however it will consist a very balanced opinion. And already we had a very detailed discussion about how to conduct the evaluation. So therefore all my jury members are very clear about what we are supposed to do today. However, just to give an proceedings of how we are going to conduct the jury, I would like to invite Dr. Sumedha to brief you about the activities we are going to carry out during your presentation, how we are going to do the jury work. Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Sumedha.
Thank you, Dr. Asela. On behalf of jury, let me explain you the evaluation criteria. Can you see my screen? Is it clear?
Not yet. Have you shared?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Let me check whether you got, yeah, solid. Now we can see.
Yeah, now it's
Okay.
fine.
All right. Okay. On behalf of jury members, I'm going to let you know the evaluation criteria. I know you guys are already aware about the evaluation criteria, but to kickstart the session, I'm going to go through the evaluation criteria. Okay, our challenge is how to educate Sri Lankan youth on Industry 4.0 technologies. And every team got 15 minutes in total and 10 minutes for your presentation. After that, 5 minutes for the question and answer session. You can use a PowerPoint presentation or a PDF or a solution canvas provided by the DigiEduHack. Okay, these are the criteria. We are going to evaluate your presentations based on 6 criteria: quality, relevance, originality, feasibility, transferability, and sustainability. Quality, we're going to evaluate based on the context of the challenge, the potential factors of success for the solution you are going to address. And then the relevance, where are you going to implement it and what is your target group? The impact that the solution may have on the context and the target group. And the originality, your idea should be something original and innovative. It shouldn't be something existing in the market or in the education sector. Feasibility, we're going to evaluate based on the practicality of the solution. Transferability, we're going to evaluate based on the transferability from one context to the another. Let's say you are going to provide the solution for Sri Lankan context, the transferability going to measure if the same solution can be transferred to another country or another context. And the sustainability going to measure based on short-term, medium-term, and long-term sustainability of the given solution. So these are the 6 criteria we are going to evaluate your presentation. Strictly 10 minutes for your presentation. Maximum time is 10 minutes, followed by 5 minutes question and answer session. Good luck, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sumedha, for briefing the evaluation criteria. Let's move with the presentations now. I think we are in the we are ahead of the schedules, but however, we can call for the first team to start the presentation. So I would like to invite group name TIF to start their presentation. You should be able to share the screen.
All right. Hello, can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Hello and good evening, fellow judges and the juries and other participants today. At heart, we are students from Cosmopolitan College. My name is Jersey, I'm the team leader, and my members, Wani and Ifwan. So let's begin with the presentation, shall we? So, 98%, according to research, 98% of the population leave the world without accomplishing their dreams. These are issues in terms of, well, lacking income, resources, and time. But what if all of that can change? Imagine living in a world that holds no limitations, that acquires learning new skills, knowledge, and experiences, again, without any limitations, unlike the world we live in now. A world where how our decision that we make right now can bring it to life. I'll pass this now to Wani.
Industry 4.0. 4IR, or known as Industry 4.0, is a new phase in the industrial revolution that focuses heavily on interconnectivity, automation, machine learning, and real-time data, and it can be applied to Sri Lanka. Besides technological enhancement, the attitude, mindset, and skills of a person is developed to a newer and open heights. So why should the youth be educated on this? It's because of the various opportunities, inventions, and innovativeness of the new generation that could be developed in this rapidly growing nation. As stated by Dr. Lazanta, a consultant physician, mentioned in Daily News 2017 that in demographical statistics, there will be an additional increase of 16.7%, which is around 3.6 million in the population by 2021, which is this year. So in 2041, 1/4 in the population will be elderly. This will have a great effect on the future economy of this country if there is no sooner course of action in implementing this industrial change. There are more than 9,000 public schools in Sri Lanka, which are government funded. As much as education is easily accessible, however, quantity overrules quality. Certain educational institutes are still educating in the traditional sense, such as memorizing, note-taking, and so forth. It has been a slow progress in developing the youth to lead the nation with this kind of setting. So, what if we can create an improved form of educating method by implementing technology and knowledge of Industry 4.0 that could not only advance and expand the youth in their skills, creativity, and accessibility to jobs worldwide, but also to develop the nation at a faster yet efficient rate. The youth therefore can act as a model of this new implementation and can aid in also spreading awareness and educating the older age group. A positive demonstrative effect. Like all regions of countries, the youth are the change makers of the nation and the world. As a student myself who have been effectively educated on Industry 4.0 and applied in its practical efforts, it has provided me a grand insight of the future, preparation, and job readiness. I'll pass this now to my colleagues.
Thank you, Wani. So Brunei's educational system has been implementing the concept and most especially the technology of Industry 4.0 in higher education to prepare these youth to be job ready and aware of the current industrial development. There is no doubt with the presence of technology of Industry 4.0 has made Brunei prosper since its decision to upgrade the nation further in 2008. The technologies of Industry 4.0 that should be introduced in Sri Lanka to the youth would be simulation, which is AR or VR, and AI. The world is not unfamiliar of these two growing technologies. This is because we have applied in various facilities on all over the world. That also includes neighboring Asian countries, which is in Brunei and Singapore. Then the idea to implement these two technology carry out as follows, which is we are trying to grow out of the traditional teaching methods that are still heavily reliant by educators in Sri Lanka. The pressuring examinations may have built diligent students, however, there are downfalls. The overbearing stress, pressuring environment, and toxic competition between students has become an issue. As from a recent interview with a current student in Sri Lanka, stated that during O levels, the suicide rate in that country spikes. Simulation and AI, accompanied by educators, can be used as mediums of educational platform that could further enhance the skills, knowledge, and generating the interest of a student in much efficient and student-friendly way without developing the detrimental effects to the mental health of the youth. It is also allows students to experience further jobs of their interest, which may seem daunting to risky to try out physically. They can gain fundamental ideas of what it's like experiencing through a program simulations, rather than using books, mobiles, pens, resources of which are still difficult to obtain by certain youth. The simulation in AI program can be provided and made available for the masses. How is that possible? How would we do this? How does this can be improved in terms of education? Here is our proposal. I'll pass this to Jersey.
Thank you, Ifwar. So let's get right into it. 2034, the new beginning of Sri Lanka. So this is a 10-year development plan that we are proposing as a team. So let's start with the concept of 5 wives, 1 husband through this whole project. So we start with the what. What are we proposing? We are proposing public simulation centers that are accompanied by AI and human management. Why? Specifically, we are offering a variety of new experiences, skills from all over the world brought together in one center. Why specifically? You see, these facilities, when built, can accommodate the masses of the new normal. It is environmentally improved and less to almost zero required resources. That means students aren't pressured to get resources that they're having problems with right now, such as telephones, paper, notebooks, and rather, instead, they bring their knowledge and their will to learn. And also, this would won't have a strain in production quality in creating mass production about resources that could be wasted, like paper. So more like the 80-20 method. Less work, more output. When do we plan to implement this? In the year 2024, all the way to 2034. But why 2024? Why not this year? Why not next year? Currently, Sri Lanka is experiencing an economic problem right now due to COVID. And next year, Sri Lanka has proposed a plan, a strong budget defense, allocating 14% of what was lost this year. And of course, it will take time to properly be economically stable enough to provide for this idea. This has 3 phases. We have the pilot, milestones, and completion. Pilot is awareness, which is what we are doing right now. Of course, this will be difficult to introduce in the beginning because of challenging language competency, you know? So by that, right now we are doing forums, webinars, live discussions, and activities at educational institutes. We are already implementing this awareness itself, not just in Sri Lanka, but also internationally, like countries like us in Brunei and to Nepal. Who are the people that we are focusing on for this? The marginalized groups. These are people who are living in the rural and economic poverty areas, and those are disabled. They are 81.2% of the entire population. It's because Sri Lanka is dependent on their, agriculture, which is the backbone of the economy. Where and how are we gonna do this? This may be in a long shot, but it's to apply legislation. How? Like they said, you can't be a leader if you aren't educated in anything, or if you don't know the right things to do, correct? So we're gonna introduce this to the people with power, with influence, politicians, ministers, and heading down to private institutions such as educators, partners, and probable investors. While this is all going during the lobbying, we'll also educate educators to introduce it to students, where therefore students will go back to the educators in response, and educators therefore give the response to the government. Seeing that the development has come into play, this will go into approval and mass mass influence. Now
your time is up, you can wrap up.
Okay, so influence is also part of it. So we can start by the CSR, corporate social responsibility. So if we share this to 1 person that they share to 10 people, this can happen. So it will happen quicker and at a faster rate, the development, marginalized groups. So the final part, what we want to say is make the right decision.
For our youth.
For the future generation.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presenters of the present group number 1. Now it's time for Q&A. So I would like to invite from the jury to ask questions if you have or any clarifications.
Yeah, I got two questions. The first one is, you were talking about the public simulation centers. In which countries these simulation centers already available? Is it available in Singapore?
It is possible, but not as much as to our research. But there is a possibility that there is already implemented since Singapore is also one of the technologically advanced Asian countries.
Okay. The next one is, why you have selected marginalized groups? Any particular reason for that?
All right, so I wasn't able to put this into full explanation earlier. So why marginalized groups? Because we're trying to impact the whole group, right? And the marginalized group literally make up 81.2% of the population. And you know the saying that there would be a person that can cure cancer, but the problem is they do not have the right resources or the education for it. That's one thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question on innovation part. So how do you differentiate from the today's and what is the new technology which you are going to adapt, or what kind of new novelty in this proposal is?
Sorry, sir, can you repeat that question? It's a bit unclear.
Yeah, the question is the novelty and the innovation part of this one. So
Yes,
how do
sir.
you separate this from today's technology, and what kind of new technology you are going to adapt technology? Yeah.
Okay, sir. So thank you for asking that question. So the difference between the technology now and the technology of tomorrow. So of course, the technology now, it's still in the works. We're all in the trial and error phase, correct? So the technology of tomorrow, this will be fully adapted to the human creativity even more than it is now. As of the moment, we're using these machines, these electronics, just to help our lives simply. But in the future, we can already be able to manipulate these kind of technologies by then, because we have already went through the trial and error, and now we're able to fully go through with a lot of other possibilities. I hope that answers your question, sir.
Yeah. So you have the market segment in the rural area. So today we are having the very less accessibility to the virtual or internet. So how do you overcome this challenge?
All right, yes, sir. Thank you for that. All right, so as we all know, it's very difficult to access internet in Sri Lanka, especially since the rural areas, remote areas, have not exactly the right technological infrastructure, correct? Not all the students can have access to internet. Like a lot of remote villages have to travel up to mountains, to treetops just to do their assignments, as in a recent research. So everyone right now is scrambling to how to do their assignments, how to do their works, if they're having internet problems. But with the help of simulations, AI, having these centers there, you wouldn't need to connect to the internet. They wouldn't have to share one device. Instead, it's one institute already. It's provided for every single person. It can accommodate, again, the masses. That's why. So we don't need the internet connection. We need to build the facilities by then. And then if you want, we could create programs, and these programs could be sent to other parts of Sri Lanka. And internet wouldn't be a problem. It's just the programs and the facilities needed to build in the long run.
Can I add that question? In Brunei, we are having our second wave of COVID, so that means Bruneians have to study at home, so they couldn't study at home. So some of the students couldn't have the access of or the availability of having the technology as well. So what we do was having a donation drive to people who really need the technology, so that they have the easy access to do their education, to their learning, and especially O levels is soon, or maybe they're doing O levels now. I strongly believe that they are doing O levels and A levels now. So what they did is to do the donation and give to who really needed it. And in terms of data, we also have this campaign called Progressive Donation Data. which is it is open for everyone who really want to donate the data to who really need the data, which is the people that couldn't afford data. For example, day by day, they can transfer $5 to Progressive bank account, and they will supply it to those who really want the data. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, I think our 15 minutes is up. Judges has any other questions? Like we can ask one more probably.
Sure.
If no questions, we can go to the next one, right, Dr. Sela?
Yes.
Asela is out, just I admitted. So you can continue.
Yeah, I was talking. Then yeah, then we can go for the next group probably, right?
Yeah. The next team is Tech Pantoms. Tech Pantoms.
Mohan is muted. Mohan, you are muted. Unmute and speak.
Hello, good evening to everyone.
Yeah.
Hope you can hear me.
Yes.
So I'm Mohan. So I would like to introduce my team members. Sahan Chatura, Thardut Divan, Sanka Anuradha, and Lakshmi Priyadarshini. So we are basically talking about how the Internet of Things technology will be used in education sector for knowledge sharing. So when we talk about the Industry 4.0 technologies, it is mostly known as Industrial Revolution, with the, focusing on automation, interpretation, machine learning, and real-time data processing. Such as technologies we know as Industry 4.0. So with these Industry 4.0 technologies, the most suitable technology.
Mohan, can you switch on your video, please?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So with the Industry 4.0 technologies, the most matching technology for Sri Lanka is the the Internet of Things. The reason why I'm saying that, the Sri Lanka, we don't have much access for the IoT technologies in our school sector, but in higher education sector we can learn more things with the technical revolution and in other sectors as well. But with this education platform that we are government has scheduled these days, from grade 8 onwards, they have introduced the IoT technology into our government education syllabus. So with the new reform of the education syllabus, from grade 6 onwards, they are willing to add these IoT technologies. The students will be able to get hands-on experiences and how to use these technologies, and to brush up their skills and to improve their living style, and for aiming their professional jobs in the future. So with that thing, we hope the most reliable and suitable technology for Sri Lanka is the IoT. The youth can adapt that that technology and use their skills and outcomes to brush up their skills for the future. So our main target group that we have selected for developing this, introducing this technology is from the, according with the government syllabus, from grade 8 onwards, until the youth, those who are seeking jobs. It means those who are unemployed in Sri Lankan culture. So this group, they are having more resources they can access with this COVID pandemic situation. So normally everybody will have access to internet, besides of some rural areas, those who haven't got internet connection and so on. With the syllabus and the education system sector, we thought of selecting the target group as from grade 8 onwards to the unemployment youth in Sri Lanka. So this group, they are having more creative ideas, and they are very innovative and active in the society. So with that thing, when they are seeking jobs in the future after finishing their education, so they can brush up with their skills and improve their knowledge and the gain industrial required skills to come up with this plan. So we face this challenge with the industry, with the Sri Lankan context, and we are hoping this target group is suitable for this platform that we are going to implement. Say in the future. So the program that we are going to implement is we are going to provide a platform. We are going to develop a platform so which the youth, the motivated students can involve and share their experiences and knowledges in the IoT sector. So our main target is focusing on 4 problems. So one of the problem is the most of our youth is lack of motivation in education, teaching education. With that, because the main barrier is to come up with the education thing is the native language, because our native language is Sinhala, so most of our education and materials are available in Sinhala language. So the language barrier will be there for our students. So, and when it comes to on the higher education, they will go for this international languages and so on. So we have to fill up that gap with this providing this solution. So from that, we are trying to motivate our students with this platform that we are going to implement. So the answer for that lack of motivation and also we are going to fill that gap with the use of a platform that we are going to build. So the platform is something related to social media that we have used as a Facebook. So every platform like that, it's open community for each and everyone. So the young crowd from grade 8 onwards, they can join with this platform. So they can when they join, they will be given some for example 100 credits for their account. So after that, this platform itself is having some videos and photos related to how to implement IoT technologies in their day-to-day activities. For example, if you say from the small example, if you say how to develop and invent a light bulb with this battery and all, so we can say these things, these are the items and these are materials they can use to invent this creation. So there will be a set of guidelines and videos that we are providing through our platform, so they can watch these platforms and implement the same thing with their creative and with their own ideas. With implementing that things, there will be a leaderboard, so those and the other members, they also can come in for their creation and all with this done to the basic concepts. So with that, they can other members can comment, or other members, when they comment, their credit will be limited, and it will go down. And then they put positive comments, they will increase their comments. So with that, they can share their knowledge with others and implement this same without copying, and be creative and skills, creating skills and improving their knowledge as well. So each and everyone can implement the same concept with their own ideas and with creativity. So based on that, we have thought of to categorize these IoT knowledge sharing sessions with a particular set of topics. So based on their interest, they can go for those.
You have 1 minute more. You can start wrapping up.
Categorizing those things, and after that, they can share and improve this thing. And ultimately, our goal is to share their experiences and improve their skills, and show that, to make a portfolio and link that with the LinkedIn profile, so their skills and the knowledge will be showing to public. So with that thing, they can come up with a better plan to improve their skills. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Now it's time for the questions from the jury.
Okay, Mohan, I got one question. Could you please explain the uniqueness of your idea?
Yes. Yeah, because we thought of developing, because most of our young crowd nowadays, they are with the COVID-19 pandemic situation, they are mostly into gaming environment. They are wasting their time with the gaming environment and doing other engaging with other social platforms. So if you can grab that free time and use it the innovative way to improve their skills, at the same time brush up with their knowledge with an IoT technology. So I thought it will be very helpful for the society and for themselves as well.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. I mean, it is pretty much similar. So how does it differ from like sharing YouTube videos on a Facebook page that you create?
Yeah, it's not actually. We will provide this. What are things that we need to develop the particular IoT project? For example, if you said Arduino, if you are making some kind of light or some designing, so we will provide the set of equipment, what are the things we need, and then we will provide the guidelines, so how these things will be treated. So it will be provided with the video and the items will be listed, and everything will be explained through the step by step. So there will be video as well, so they can follow the same thing, and they can define and they use their resources and develop the same thing with the innovativeness, including the innovativeness. So it will be a new product, not the same one that we have initially given for their startup.
Yeah, one more question that good that you identify the one is that you mentioned the grade 8, they have the creativity and the innovation. Do we have any research-based findings? So the first question. Second is, what kind of strategy you used to take these people who are always used to do all this gaming and those what kind of strategy you used to?
Yes, because now those who are into gaming and also interacting with the social media. So they are they want to show their talents and come up with they will come to top of their leaderboard. So they are from that they are gaining some interest, and so they want to be popular and to be a top up in their community with the social media or the gaming platform. So same thing we are using in our platform as well. So when they share and come up with the popular thing, or when they carry out a new innovation with the same concept, so we will also give come up with then some giveaway presents or some cash vouchers or so sponsorships. We will connect with some our companies that those who are into IoT. So from that we are going to motivate them and keep them and use their leisure time or the free time into useful one, rather than wasting with the social media interactions.
Any more questions from the jury? Okay, if not, I have one question, Mohan. Now, how do you assure that this will reach to all the part of the community, and how you assure the sustainability of this idea?
Yes. So when talking about the sustainability, so we thought of developing this platform and going further. It means when the community grows rapidly, so we'll make their profile. So we will make the profile and link the profile into the LinkedIn. So it will be a very good place so they can share and seek for job opportunities. So we thought we can come up with some badges, like the Google, they are giving some badges, and the Microsoft, they are giving some badges. So we can say this guy has completed this task, or this has this person has skill qualified in this particular area, something like that. They're going to show their profile and portfolio in the LinkedIn. So I think, and so we are, as a group, we are thinking that it will be a great opportunity for them. So to enhance and to seek for new opportunities, and to share their knowledge, and to get the interaction with the topmost companies in the world.
Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you very much, Mohan and your team, for the presentation. So we can now move on to the third group. I would like to invite third group to start their presentation.
Shadkosh.
Yeah.
Team Shadkosh.
So thank you for the opportunity. So namaste, Benakram, and greetings to all. We are Team South Cross, and we will be representing Nepal with team members Ankush, Subinash Rashmi, myself, and Neeraj. So today we will be presenting a short presentation on how to develop digital education in Sri Lanka in terms of Industry 4.0. So what's really is Industry 4.0? Industry 4.0 is a digital transformation of manufacture and relate to industry and its creation. However, Industry 4.0 revolution is the fusion of development in AI and other technologies like IoT and robotics. So on today's presentation, our team will highlight on AR/VR, that stands for Augmented Reality and Virtual Reality, to develop Sri Lanka as well as other development countries in terms of digital education. So moving forward, let's talk about our today's agenda. So today we'll be discussing some general introduction to AR/VR and its current scenario of technology, also why AR/VR, and how AR/VR will help in education sector to uplift present condition for better future, and how we can implement the ideas and plans related to AR/VR in education sectors, and also a quick summary on today's presentation and how AR/VR will help in future exploration. So let's introduce AR/VR. what is really AR/VR. So AR/VR is a gadget which is a realistic visual effect and is made using computer software that allows us to replicate real world in virtual world. So talking about current scenario, many developed countries has been using AR/VR technology in their education uses as well as healthcare, medical practices, also engineering and designer field too, as to experiment it easily. So let's talk why AR/VR technology should be used. So AR/VR is a futuristic technology, that means future technology which will help us to step forward towards our development and also to change and experience a new way of learning and teaching, as well as it is easy and fun to use, and there is access from anywhere and anytime because it is easily portable, as well as there are many options on how we use AR/VR, as AR/VR can be used for educational purposes as well as gaming also. So on my next slide, you can see there are two short demonstrative video where we can use AR/VR is being used in classroom and in medical field. So by saying this much, I want to hand over this presentation to one of my team member, Neeraj Gautam, who will help us for our better understanding in education field. Thank you.
Thank you, Subina. I hope I'm audible. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So moving forward, let's talk about the education and how AR/VR can be used in it. So before talking about how AR/VR can be used in it, let's talk about the present education system of Nepal. The present education system that is being used in many countries, even in present day. This current education system that we can see being used in many countries is a very old methodology which was introduced more than 100 years ago. So this needs to evolve, and because of this, because of this very old methodology and the limitation of real world, talking about our real world, right? So the scope of practical knowledge is very less, and even in some kind of fields like history or paleontology kind of field, there is almost no kind of detailed practical knowledge that we can do. And because of this educational practice practice done in many countries, we rely on textbook system, right? So words and all only being limited to theoretical part. This has become a very monotonous thing, and repeatedly doing the same thing again and again, it has become something boring. And when people start to get bored, people start to learn less. So okay, let's see how VR and AR can solve this problem. So visual learning, one of the strongest point about using virtual reality and augmented reality is visual learning. It takes visual learning to the totally next level. Let's just say if I want to learn something, right, and about my past, and let's just say dinosaur. They do not exist anymore, right? So we cannot actually see them, but because of all this technology and scientific research, and they know how they might have looked like. So, but we cannot actually make them move in real life, right? So they are just dummies. But using the virtual reality and augmented reality, we can create a 3D structure that can actually move, and we can interact with each other with it, and we can actually learn in totally different way. Going to the next point, real life experience. The real life experience is also something that you can see in this video. On the top left corner of there you can see a man standing in an empty room. There is nothing around him, but using this VR headset that he has used, he can actually interact and totally study this Egyptian architect and about the history of Egypt, like he is standing there in real life. This is the power of virtual reality that cannot be done in real life, right? There is nothing but actually this is so real life, like we can learn this and research this on total different level. Okay, so moving forward, education and pandemic lockdown. This is something that we all have faced, every country have faced in this recent past. Let's first discuss how we dealt with it, right? So schools and teachers were struggling, right? Schools and school management and teachers were struggling to deliver the quality of education that was possible while it was physical classes, but not in online classes. So, and because of that, there was lack of understanding in students, and if I cannot understand what is in my syllabus, then obviously it is going to hamper my education. And even talking from my personal perspective, as online education by using the technology that we did was totally ineffective. And let's see how use of AR/VR can solve this problem. Education like real life. Imagine being okay, you are invited to study in online class, right? But when using that technology via AR/VR headset, when you look to the right or look to the left, there are literally you can it creates an illusion of like virtual reality. It creates this virtual reality, this open space where on my right and left there are actually my friends sitting there. I can actually interact, and it decreases that the feeling of distance is being will be decreased because of this. And teacher is it will make like teacher is sitting right in front of me, which will increase the interaction. Like if there is if I feel like there is no distance between me and them, and it is totally different only sitting in front of a laptop screen or using a virtual reality, right? So it increases the interaction between students and teachers like in real physical class. And that increases the effectiveness, and effectiveness being increase in effectiveness increases the quality of education, and there is no doubt. And we as we can see in this video that is being shown in the screen, people are having a virtual party. Imagine having a virtual party through a Zoom or some kind of Google Meet, right? That would be so lame. And what because of this technology that we are presenting, it is actually already being used worldwide. And as you can see here, people are cheering and sharing this information of this guy is literally handing over a bag to another, like we do in physical space. This is the power that virtual reality holds, bringing the reality to the virtual level. And by using this, I can say that future of youth and future of youth is in will be very progressive, and we can not just Sri Lanka but also worldwide. We can prepare the youth for the industrial post-industrial revolution and the technologies that is going to come in future. But let's say how to implement this, right? So for this part, I would like to call my friend Akus. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neeraj. Talking about implementation, as we know, visual learning has to retain more.
Thank you very much. Now,
VR technology provides outstanding visualization of this subject matter that is.
Yeah, if you have. Hello, have you finished the presentation?
No.
No, they're continuing.
Okay.
Okay, let me start with implementation of virtual reality. As we know, visual learning has to retain more information. VR technology provides outstanding visualization of the subject matter that is not possible in the traditional approach. In VR settings, students can interact with what they say. In addition, it provides students.
You have 1 minute more.
Learning experiences. Virtual reality also allows us to bridge gap between educators and learners. With VR distance learning are more fun and informative. Virtual reality technology can also be useful in rural areas where there are lack of equipment and facilities needed by the school children of rural areas. Using VR technology, we can create any facilities virtually. Thus, it helps students of rural area to make the learning system fun and informative. Now, let's go to plan of implementation. Okay, to implement this project, the support of different stakeholders is necessary. Government bodies, NGOs, INGOs, and different companies should organize different awareness programs, workshops to make this technology accessible to the youth of Sri Lanka and to the youth of any developing countries. In this way, different stakeholders should shake hands together to make youth of Sri Lanka and youth of around the world adapt with the 4.0 industry revolution.
Your time is up. You have to wrap up.
Next part. Okay. Final part, how we can implement this. First of all, giving awareness and conducting workshops with the help of different NGOs and INGOs and different companies. After conducting the workshop and have implemented VR technology in some schools, we are taking the assessment test and evaluating students how they perform after the use of the technology. After the evaluation process is complete, reviews from students are very much important. After collecting reviews from students, we are updating our features. Thank you. Now I would like to call Neeraj for conclusion.
So we have almost wrapped up. This is the end of our presentation. In conclusion, that we have while researching about this topic, we found that even though it seems like this technology is something that Iron Man can only do, it is a sci-fi. But it is not. While researching, we found out that it is very cheap, effective. It can be implemented on very ground level. It can be implemented very easily and distributed to mass level. So that is something we found while talking about the future. It decreases the harm of experimental in virtual world. So workshop communities can work very easily. Obviously, it will be easy because it will replicate the same feeling of real world. So this is all from our side. In our next slide, we have some citations that we found during the presentation.
Please wrap it up.
Okay, thank you all for your time and this support and this opportunity. We are very grateful for this. And if you have any question, you can feel free to ask. Thank you so much.
Okay,
thank
Tim.
you very much for your session. With the questions,
Yeah, Tim Shadkos. Could you please explain how do you going to measure the sustainability of your proposal?
Talking about measuring the sustainability of our proposal, it has to be for something to be sustainable. It has to be effective on the product side as well as the something profit is on one side, but something good has to happen. So when after implementing this technology that we just talked about, we can some data that some countries which are already using this technology, from using that data and our research on some Sri Lankan background of how we can implement this. This is going to take education to the very next level and also prepare the youth for the upcoming future technology, right? So if it is doing that, it is sustainable in itself because people will see good in it and they will obviously use it and again. So that will in that way we can maintain the sustainability in it. I hope. Okay.
Thank you.
Another question to Niraj of Team Shadkos. Niraj explained that teachers and students, they struggled in the classroom in a particular subject area. So this is going to be a good solution as such. But don't you think that in a classroom, at least one real life example would be good enough for them to continue with it? Not completely, not completely on virtual reality.
That last part I didn't got, sir. Before that, not completely going to the reality. That middle part I didn't get it, sir. Hello.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so the question was like, rather than going into virtual reality in the classroom, if a student can't understand, wouldn't it be enough to just give a real life example than implementing an expensive virtual reality solution?
That is where our breakpoint comes, right? As I already told, it seems like something a sci-fi movie can do and some reachable thing, but it is not. A person who has a smartphone in his hand can use this technology, and it is so not cheap at all. And when I'm talking about this struggle of student and teacher, I was talking about something like in future another pandemic is, so we have to do the online classes. We again have to do that. Follow this trend, right, of online classes using different kind of technology that we use like Meet and Zooms. Yeah, but rather than that, using this technology, which is already in the hand of every Sri Lankan youth, every Asian youth, every worldwide youth, it will be more effective in that case. So that was our point. So rather than it is okay to show the real life example, but even to show the real life example in some kind of online classes, people just have to depend upon one skill, right? So that is something a barrier between many student and teachers, and that barrier can be broken by virtual reality. So that is why this would be more effective way to do that. From a yes.
Okay, so what is your innovativeness of this technology? Because technology is already there. So what is the uniqueness of your proposal for this topic?
Okay, so uniqueness of our proposal is it can be used by anyone. It can be used by from anywhere, and we just don't have to wait for some another pandemic. It can be used right now, today, right? Let's just say I gave the example of dinosaur earlier, right? Let's just say I'm interested in paleontology and some kind of thing, and there is some kind of biology subject where we read about social or biology, where we read about dinosaur, right? Okay, so while studying about dinosaur, we do that theoretically, but there is no way to study them in practical way, right? Yeah, we can go to museum and see a dinosaur statue, but that's the limitation of a real world.
Yeah, Neeraj. Now that is the like advantage of this, of course. But like, isn't this exist anywhere else? Like, I mean, is this unique? Like, I mean, your solution, is it unique? I mean, isn't it anywhere else already?
Yes, yes, it is being used globally, and in some places it is already being used, but the effectiveness of it has not come out. So uniqueness, if I have to say, the uniqueness of my point is that how do I put this? Talking about this technology, the technology itself is very unique, and
okay, Neeraj, thank you very much for your explanation. So we'll consider that. Thank you. Thank you. So
thank you, sir.
Is there any other questions from the jury to this group? Okay, if not, we'll move to the next group. Thank you very much, Neeraj and the team for the presentation.
Team Drishya.
So logic will take you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. With this quote, I would like to start today's presentation. And we are the team Drishya with my team members Rohan Manandar and Sanil Manandar, and me myself as a group leader, Manish Pandey. So our topic is future of education in Sri Lanka. Moving on, we have this technology called AR and VR. So I would like to give you a certain background for that. Talking about education, in the past years, we have experienced a traditional way of teaching. So it has not been that effective as expected. So the education has not been changed, the teaching methodology has not been changed, but the technology has been advanced time to time. So why not we take a huge step towards improving our teaching methodology? So talking about education equality also, we have this technology called AR and VR, augmented reality and virtual reality, which will provide equal learning experience to all the students and to all the people from the education lacking background. And as nowadays people, teachers have started to teach their students using audiovisual, which has been proven very effective. So there is a great importance of this technology to make the education system very efficient and effective. So let me introduce what is augmented reality and what is virtual reality. So talking about augmented reality is a technology that is capable of visualizing computer-generated 3D graphics into the real environment. So it mounts the real environment and the generated graphics together. So moving on, I will introduce about VR. So what is virtual reality? Virtual reality is also a computer-generated simulation of an 3D imaging for interaction in a physical way by a person, but in a virtual world using any kind of electric equipment or gears. So why choosing of this technology? What will happen if we use this technology in the industry 4.0 era? So first thing first, it is very fun to learn with the help of this technology. It helps to understand the complex system. So it gives a very good learning experience and a learning stimulation to the student about the theories and complex concept. And it helps student in enhancing, boosting their creativity. And it also can be accessed from the current smartphone we are using. So as per the data of 2023, 2.4 billion users have been touched with this technology. And this technology is slowly and gradually going to be the next talk of this world. And along with that, even this technology has a lot of advantages. It comes with, while implementation, it comes with this problem. Lack of resources like screens and internet in the rural areas or in the countries, developing countries like Sri Lanka and Nepal. And even though we provide this resources or this technology to people, there is high chance of being of exploitation of these resources, and less cooperation with the people is also another problem. So what will be the plan to eradicate this problem and take out the solution is, as per the data, the current smartphone we are using, people around the world, we can see that 48% of Sri Lankan household with school-age children owned a smartphone or computer, and only 34% had an internet connection in 2019. So this sees that we can analyze that there is a need of technology here. So after this COVID-19 pandemic, there were about 31.80 million mobile connection in Sri Lanka in January 2020. So we can see that the number of mobile connections in Sri Lanka has increased by 2.2 million plus 7.5% between January 2020 and January 2019. So we can see that there has been increase in the second-hand phones or the refurbished mobiles. So for the solution, we can use this mobile and we can use this technology. And another solution can be using Starlink for internet. So Starlink is this satellite which provides internet connection throughout the world. You can be anywhere in the corner of the world and you can get access of the internet with the help of Starlink. And another effective way can be, we can collaborate between different NGOs and government, public schools and companies. So keeping sustainability in mind, it is also one of the important topics these days that we can use cardboard VR, which helps to reuse our waste, because reusing is the most important during this time, because we are getting a lot of environmental issues too. So it can reuse and reuse the waste, and it can also create a fun art and craft for the project for our students. So AR kits can be found as low as $11 or even less. So it is quite easy to get access to, and working with the local government to create awareness about the technology can definitely help students to know more better about this technology. So talking about our measure of success, we can have this thing on mind. So taste before and after the program, after the implementation and before the implementation of this technology. So we can record the number of enrollment of students or people, and we can also measure the school performance of students and the difference in the pass percentage or the creativity, boost in creativity among the students. So this is how we're gonna measure the success. That was our presentation. Thank you for the time. Thank you very much. So any questions?
Thank you very much. Any questions from the jury?
Yeah, just which kind of software you are going to use for this simulation and issue the mobile phone? How is the capability of using the mobile phone? Because you know, we have to have very strong data. Is that how we are going to face this challenge?
So for this, we have this companies like Facebook have just changed their name to Metaverse. So the companies like Facebook and Google are launching their VR software. Like Google has Google Expedition. Of course, Facebook is going to be doing something with Metaverse, and we have this Photon VR, which is also working on education, and which is also working for the curriculum of study by using VR and AR technology. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, so what kind of education activities you can use your idea?
Sorry?
What kind of applications you can use this application?
You can use in anything, you know, from to small kids, you can to grown-ups. It is only limited to your imagination, as there are only many third-party sellers out there which are selling different kind of educational materials. There is there are many materials there, so I don't think it will be a problem for.
So what is the uniqueness or what is the innovativeness of your proposed tool?
I think we are more focused on the solution rather than the uniqueness. I think during this pandemic and during, as we can see, the global warming, I think sustainability and reusability is more important than, I think, uniqueness. Reusing the past materials, reusing the past technology for betterment, for improvement is, I think, best.
Manish, can you unshare the screen?
Yeah, any more questions from the jury?
So for your implementation, what kind of assistance is required from the public or the government or what the stakeholders? I mean, who are the stakeholders and what kind of assistance are you looking for?
Rohan, would you like to answer?
Yeah. So for developing this application, as we already know that Sri Lanka has a good less but a very experienced people of having the good IT knowledge. So for developing those into more Sri Lankan content, I think the one with the good experience in IT, like who are able to use the softwares like Unity, are the one who will be needed to develop more AR contents for the context of Sri Lanka educations. From if for the context of the primary education, if they need to learn what their from their like local environments, then it will be very better for the Sri Lankans, for the people of the Sri Lanka to implement their own ideas, and which also creates a job opportunity for those peoples too.
Yeah, but that's to create the content. But like, I mean, in order to implement this kind of a solution, you might need certain assistance from certain parties, and without like public awareness, you can't do it. So you need the public support, right? So, I mean, can you comment about that
as a group, we are planning to create a kind of awareness program. We discussed that problem beforehand. Also, we thought there would be many resistance. According to the UN's report, also they found many resistance during the development. So we thought about first creating a campaign, awareness campaign to the public in the rural places, as they might not know the technology and they might be resistant to the technology, and can also kind of use the technology in a bad way for their own betterment. So we are thinking of creating an awareness campaign with the help of the local government and the companies we are connected to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So you mentioned about the sustainability and then advantages of going for this proposed technology for education, etc. Now, when it comes to the this hardware, especially the e-waste will be an issue, because then there will be more parties use this kind of equipment, etc. So have you thought about that aspect? And the other issue is now when it comes to the usage of internet as well as this internet of things, etc. Obviously, that will lead to another sustainability issue. I think you might have heard already now, due to this pandemic, the power consumption and various other issues related to emission which comes along with the electricity has increased. So now when you promote such a thing in the education, do you think that instead of reusability related issues, now what will happen to the power consumption and e-waste related aspect?
I think e-waste will be at a minimum, because the phone can be used again for by the students or by the schools, local governments, and we are using cardboards which are kind of reusable. And as you said, the Internet of Things, we are planning to partner up with Starlink. It's kind of a new internet service provider which only uses a dish and the satellite, and is planning to provide internet globally. And as power consumption is a very big problem nowadays, every company has very low emissions in mind and are constrained by the government to create low emissions. So I think keeping that in mind, the company's product will be low harmful to the environment and consume less power.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions from the jury?
I want to add one more point.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead.
So our technology is typically based on AR and VR, right? So as talking about sustainability, we can just use the old refurbished phones for this technology to, like, with our research, we found that with the cheapest phones, cheapest refurbished phone cost even $64, which supports the AR and VR. Like a Google Pixel 1 phone, we found that it was listed for around $64 to $62 American dollars. So with that pretty much powerful phone, the phone that was targeted to go for a scrap can be even used for these technologies too. So I want to say that.
Okay, thank you very much for your detailed answer. Okay, then let's move on to the next group. So I would like to invite Future Me group for their presentation.
Are we audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can see our screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, members of the jury and all participants. I'm Minuti. And I'm Sonali, and we are Future Me. Get ready to enter the era of Industry 4.0. So I'm on my way to Colombo, and I'm in my self-driving car, and my digital assistant notified me, "Ma'am, you have a meeting tomorrow evening at 6, and you need to be dressed with a formal attire." I checked the participant list, and there are a few VIPs taking part in the event. However, your best formal suit is in the laundry, and it will be delivered next week. Would you like me to find any other preferences? Yes, please. Ma'am, I selected a few options from the online clothing stores where there is stock available for you. You may now check them out in your Google Glasses. Okay. It's a lot of choices. The blue suit looks great. The black one also looks nice. Can you please show me the previous preferences? Yes, ma'am. Okay. I'm going to go ahead with the blue suit. Okay, ma'am. It's going to cost you 25,000 rupees. Your HSBC credit card has a 20% discount, but your Sampat card credit card has no discount. However, your HSBC credit card limit has exceeded. Can I go ahead and pay with your Sampat card? Yes, sure, go ahead. Ma'am, your suit has been ordered and it will be delivered to your place by 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. This is what the future would look like with the advancement of Industry 4.0 technologies. So let's see what we can do to bring Sri Lanka to this level. First, we went through a logical process of defining the problem, which is the Sri Lankan youth not having sufficient knowledge of Industry 4.0 technologies. We actually did a quick survey, interviewed a few university students, teachers, lecturers, and one of the directors from the Ministry of Education. With their input, we managed to validate our problem statement, and we were able to, in fact, they talked about different challenges. So with their input, we managed to validate our problem statement. We resolve this problem by increasing innovation, productivity, lead time, quality, and also income. In fact, with the increasing amounts of digital disruption happening all around the world, if we don't adapt to Industry 4.0 technologies, we may find ourselves losing businesses or even making it non-existent. So after some brainstorming, researching, and consulting different levels of educational professionals, we were able to find out the easily deployable technologies amongst these particular age groups. We picked the school students, the university students, and the recent graduates because they are more exposed to new technologies, because of their agility and their speed of grasping new concepts and their mindset of testing new things. Considering all these things, we came up with the long-term solutions and the short-term solutions. So the long-term solution is including Industry 4.0 technologies into the school A-level syllabuses and to the university curriculum. So all students will be benefited with a formal mechanism of learning about the emerging technologies. Now, let's look at what can be done easily in the short term. We thought of introducing an interactive gamification called Future Me, which has two sections, a game and a knowledge hub, where players from all around the country or even across the world can interact with each other and share their knowledge. It is basically like this platform where they can share their existing knowledge about the Industry 4.0 technologies and best practices. The reason for choosing a game is because the younger generation spends more time with their phones and other devices playing games. And we believe that this is the easiest and fastest way to capitalize this idea and reach the youth. So let's take a look at how the game is structured. Future Me is an application designed with challenges based on Industry 4.0 technologies. For example, we have 3D printing, robotics, artificial intelligence, and even Internet of Things or other technologies as well. Each challenge has different levels. Once you go into one challenge, say 3D printing, it will consist of increasing levels with increasing difficulty. So the player can start off with digitally creating an object with all the 3D printing functions. At the end of each challenge, the player will get a summary of what they accomplished, along with a few quizzes to test what they learned. Each challenge will have a scoreboard that will display the top 3 players of that challenge, along with the player's score and position. Based on the scoreboard, the top 3 players will be picked to intern every 6 months. There's also a scoreboard for an overall performance in all challenges. And based on that, the first top player will be given a financial reward. When we do anything, we need to have some certain criteria that we can measure our success with and understand whether we are moving in the right direction and whether we have achieved the right outcome. So when we were thinking on how we should make this more sustainable, we spoke to companies who function with Industry 4.0 technology, and they all said that they are quite willing to offer internships. And also, if we are able to make them sponsor for this application, it would take us in a positive path. Another option would be to charge the players with about a $1 nominal fee to maintain sustainability. So due to the limited time, we focused more on the short to medium-term solutions. Our game Future Me with the hope that we would educate the youth on the emerging technologies. Therefore, we'd like to say thank you for organizing this event. Whether we win or not, we have learned a lot from this wonderful opportunity, and we are happy to contribute to society from what we have learned. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Now we can go for questions from the jury. Okay, now until others come up with the question, so I'll ask one question. Now you are basically trying to promote some of the mobile apps or kind of tools for these requirements. So how you are going to prevent your users addicting to this kind of tools, right? It will be a kind of an issue in long run unless there are cutoff limits or something like that. So how you make sure that especially youngsters not going to addict to this type of things as well, because you have to control anyway the usage of the
right. So it's a bit difficult, and like each
devices,
level is actually becoming difficult. So it's good to use this in a more useful level. So what we do is maybe we could have like time limits. So you have one challenge, you can do it in a given time slot. So that they will stick to that time, and maybe after that time slot finishes, give them like a timeout so that they can benefit from that, but also not get addicted to it. So then give them the next time limit, and then they can carry on that way. So we can prevent it. That way they will be increasing in their speed on how to solve these problems also.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Yeah. As per your data analysis, the data science, or based on the research findings, the students are not more focusing in the database, getting the science. Why? Any particular reason, or how we are going to overcome this challenge? Because what is most important to have the science in the schools and convert that into the move to meet the fourth industrial revolution.
I'm sorry.
Only this data science is popular in the universities. So how we are going to meet this challenge as per your research finding?
Excuse me, but we couldn't hear your question. There was a signal error. Could you please repeat that?
Yeah, as per your research findings, the 4 areas, this IoT, 3D, AR, and the data science. So data science only popular in the universities. What is most important to break this challenge? To have more data-driven, science-based technology to universities, sorry, schools. So how are we going to overcome this challenge?
Sanila, you are muted.
So focusing data science on the university because it's a bit advanced, and in the game also we can put in this data science because we are using all the areas of internet of industry 4.0 technologies. It's not only robotics and AI and artificial intelligence. It's not only data science, also we use all the industry 4.0 technologies in the game.
It's like we're including all the areas of the data science and also the upcoming emerging technologies. It's not just a selected basis of technologies, but we're planning to include a vast amount of technologies so that they could benefit and also they could figure what they like. So it's that way.
So like in the long run, we can't have just few challenges, as we said, like we can't just have robotics and AI. We can, with the increasing emerging technologies, we can develop that game, make it increase a bit more, and then put in these different technologies also.
Our plan was with time to keep updating the game so that we can also update the players the players of the game also with the new technology. So technology is a revolutionary thing. It keeps it keeps developing every single day. Someone finds something new. So based on these, we have to do our own research and find out all these emerging technologies. Then you update the game by adding those technologies also.
Team Future Me, through the short-term measures you mentioned, the 3D printing technology is going to be embedded into the children, because through the gaming terminal they will become familiar, and then finally the technology will be embedded into them. But don't you think that at least after 10 games, playing after 10 games, they should be directed to the real use of the 3D printing and an application? Then only the outcome, the expected outcome will be there then.
Yes, exactly. That's why we have put in the intern facility. Like at the end, the purpose of the game is you play the game and then you make sure you get the highest points. So once you come to the top 3 level, the top 3 players are gonna get internships at different companies. So we need to make sure that we have companies who are related to this industry 4.0 technologies, and the players, the top 3 players who get the highest scores are able to intern in these companies.
It comes with time. So we have given them a 6 months time limit. So with that time, the levels keep increasing and the difficulty also keeps increasing. So that means they get a better knowledge. So once all of this has been accomplished, if they have reached the top 3 levels, they are able to go and intern in a company. Only 3 people get to do it with the limited resources.
Okay, through the process of gaming, you will have to encourage them, you will have to promote them that they are reaching such a level. Good,
yes.
Good.
Yeah, one quick question. Like, I mean, I'm not undermining your approach. Like, it's really cool. My question is now, you're providing the knowledge on what to do, and you're giving kind of 3 opportunities to get into the real hands-on experience, right? So there's a huge gap there between getting the hands-on experience and getting the knowledge. But Industry 4.0 is more about doing it rather than knowing it. So how do you like broaden these opportunities to get the hands-on experience? I mean, of course, you are giving 3 opportunities, but yeah, go ahead.
The first thing that we need to do is we need to understand how it's going to work.
So the game basically gives an understanding of it. And even though there's a limit of 3 people, there are many challenges also. So it's not just 3D printing, you have robotics, AI. So the interests, depending on the person's interest, they get, if they can manage to get to the top 3 levels, they can intern in that place. So
And also using this game, even with their level, even if they don't meet the top 3, they now actually have a sufficient amount of understanding about this, so they can go and find opportunities elsewhere. Also, if the point amount, the points that the players get increases above the expectation, we can actually increase the amount of interns. And yeah.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation. So we'll move on to the next turn. Thank you very much. So I would like to invite the next group, Duval, to start their presentation. You can share your screen. We can see your screen, but we can't hear you clearly. You can switch off the video stream and then do the presentation. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, it seems there's an issue with your connection. So probably another team member can share the screen while you present, probably, so that you won't use that much of bandwidth when if you don't have enough bandwidth.
Duval team members.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's clear. You can start.
Okay, so hi everybody and good evening, judges. So me and my team members are consisting of Devangi, Nisya, and Michaela are going to be discussing our take on the solution to the challenge we've been given. So we have taken up the challenge to find a solution on a way to educate Sri Lankan youth on 4.0 technology. So what exactly is 4.0 technology? In simple terms, it is a way of describing the blurring boundaries between physical, digital, and biological worlds. We all know that technology is the future of our world, and therefore it would not only be beneficial to the youth of Sri Lanka to gain knowledge, but it also gives them certain skills which could be used in the near future if they are educated on this type of technology. So as we know, there are many different types of this 4.0 technology, but for our team solution, we have decided to focus on one particular area, which we think may interest many youth, which is robotics. So if I was to define the term robotics, robotics is a robot type of automated machinery that can execute specific tasks with speed and precision. So as mentioned in this slide, there are countless advantages that the youth can benefit from, including increasing workplace productivity, learning skills that will provide useful in the future, and encouraging and building computational and thinking skills in children. So as for a solution that we came up with the idea of implementing a club independent from schools. So this gives us a wider outreach rather than setting up in individual schools, hence allowing us to educate more youth. So we plan on focusing our club on children of ages 16 to 20. So we'll mainly be focusing our target audience on school children of O-level and A-level batches. They would be categorized according to their interest of robotics and how far they would like to progress in learning and developing their skill level. So to make this solution more original, we did want to have various categories within our club. This means we would have one section that focuses on children who want to learn robotics as a hobby, and a separate section for those who display a higher competency level and so may want to pursue a career in robotics in the future. Now, when we talk about introducing this club to youth, we were trying to figure out ways to promote and attract our audience, and therefore we thought of implementing phases. We thought implementing phases would help the flow of the introduction of the club. As seen, we would first start by introducing workshops to schools to show students the fun of robotics while still having an educational aspect. Along with this, we would create a website to give youth more of an idea of what the club is about. We also plan on having online sessions as well as physical sessions. So among these members, the members who are in the highly competent category, a few of them would be chosen to be ambassadors of our club, and each of these youth ambassadors' roles would be to promote the club within their schools among their classmates. They could even share information about the club on their social media accounts, which would be a highly effective way to recruit new members and increase awareness about our club, helping to promote it. So phase one is one of our sustainability targets, as this is a short-term objective to initiate the club and give it a stable pathway to be able to have long-term goals, which will be discussed shortly. So our plan is to create a successful club, which includes the workshops that were mentioned previously. We plan to first hold free introductory workshops so that the youth can get a feel of what is to come and what kind of projects that they will be working with. And later we want to hold weekly workshops for children conducted by professionally qualified trainers in robotics. Our vision is to make sure that each participant of our club gains knowledge and experience from the courses of robotics we plan to initiate. Moving on to our milestones that we have hope to achieve, we've actually divided it into two groups, which is the short-term and long-term milestones. So if I were to start off with the short-term milestones, we hope to open a center in Colombo, which is the most commercial area, in order to conduct various workshops and courses and to give us a hub instead of doing it individually through each school. This can be more of a commercial area where everybody can gather in order to do these courses. We also mentioned in the phase one process that we would create a website that we hope to continuously develop over time. Another milestone that we aim to achieve on the short run is to have a minimum of 50 members so that we will be able to expand from there to more long-term goals. The last achievement mentioned in our presentation on the short run is having our first successful summer camp, which is a week-long program with fun activities in robotics, suitable for all ages, which allow us to educate children even for a short while at the camp, increasing the number of youth we are able to educate in 4.0 technology, as this is our main goal. As for our long-term plans and milestones, we hope to have an outreach program to introduce robotics to rural areas, which is actually our phase two. As we first focused on the more commercialized areas, we wanted to also expand to rural areas in order to further educate more children and give them a chance to actually experience the fun, and along with that, increase their knowledge of robotics in hopes that it will increase their skill and prove useful in future situations as the world is currently moving towards very advanced technology. Lastly, one of our long-term goals is to actually become an affiliated center to an internationally recognized robotics program in order to offer children degrees in robotics, which will prove that we have provided education to Sri Lankan youth on 4.0 technology to the fullest of our ability. Now, when it comes to analyzing and measuring our success, we wanted to make sure that our solution can be carried out for a lengthy period of time. Hence, we wanted to measure our success both on the short term and short run and the long run. The way we plan on measuring our short-term success is by analyzing the number of youth who are willing to participate in our club. By knowing the amount of participants, we are able to assess the amount we have been able to educate thus far. And if we see an increase in participation rate, we will then move on to phase 2, which is the long-term goals. And we will measure this through measurement analysis based on the number of participants who pursue robotics as per the studies. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Now it's time for the questions. Jury members.
Okay, so do you have any idea on like within, let's say, 5 years time, how many students or how many like youth individuals will be participating in your program? What is the target?
I guess on the short run, we did want to try for a minimum of 50 members, and we wanted to see how it goes from there. And if it is successful, we did want to expand to further to rural areas to give them also a chance to experience this.
So let's say it's successful, and then what do you think? What should be your target?
We hope it will be like at least 2,000 students in
five years time.
Yeah.
So if I am to ask you, like, okay, if you are to go for more in 5 years, let's say in first year you are successful, so in 5 years time, if you are asked to target for like maybe 20,000 or a larger number, what changes would you do in your approach?
We'll try to have more centers. That's the main thing. So for now, we only thought of having like one center in Colombo. But if we can expand to Kandy and Galle, as said before, where I'm sure we can meet that target.
We also want to do outreach programs. Hopefully when we have more centers, we'll be able to have more funds, hopefully gain more sponsors, and through that we want to have outreach programs to rural areas, and that way we could give opportunities to children who probably won't be given otherwise.
Thank you.
Any particular reason why you are selected robotics? Because how feasible country like Sri Lanka at the moment?
Robotics currently in Japan, that they are trying to implement robotics as a very permanent sense of education towards the children. They have assistant teachers that are robots to teach them languages and maths and other stuff. And it has turned out to be very effective and successful in terms of children's development. And robotics is not just a technological subject. There's a lot of mechanics that goes into it. Like in robotic workshops, we would be talking and working with Legos and bricks and things that would develop children's motor skills, and it would help brain development in those sense also. So it wouldn't be just strictly on technology and a computer and stuff like that, but it would also be assessing children's ability to fix things, use their hands, and especially motor skills.
Have you identified enough funding for these projects?
So we mainly thought of, at the first stage, we thought of getting sponsors, and maybe like if we were able to gain a lot of awareness about our project and we have our club and we have enough members, those who are like extremely interested in participating in like a higher level program, we could charge like a membership fee. Yeah. then we will be able to get some revenue through that.
Any more questions from the jury? So I have one question. Do you have any particular focus on the types of the robots you are going to use for this particular tool, or it covers every type, all the types basically, like mobile, stationary, industrial, all these?
We're trying to start by very practical robotics, like mechanical equipment that you would need in day-to-day stuff that children would see. And then hopefully when we gradually increase to a larger workshop base, we'll be able to get more sponsors and more professionally qualified people. And then maybe from there, we would be able to, with affiliated universities, we'd be able to do a larger type of robotics.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so if there are no more questions, we can move to the last group. I would like to invite Group Infinity to start their presentation.
Hello everyone.
You can share the screen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Hello,
can hear
everyone.
you. Hello, you can start the presentation.
Hello, we are Infinity Group. Our team members is NC Mudannayaka, MMU Hettiarachchi, and EP Premaratna. Our mentor is DigiEduHack.
Excuse me, you can move to the PowerPoint presentation mode and then continue.
Yeah. What is the Industry 4.0? Yes, all are talking about Industry 4.0. Yes, I can wrap up this topic in few words. These Industry 4.0 industry mean cryptocurrency.
Excuse me, we can't see your slides in the PowerPoint presentation mode. Please switch into that. And
okay.
No, your screen is okay, but you have to move to the presentation mode. Yeah.
Now you can see.
Now it's good. Yeah, you can.
Okay. I'm firstly wrap up this Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0. These including cryptocurrency, cybersecurity, and automation, robotics, and virtual reality, like that things. But we are selected 4G printing, 3D printing, because Sri Lanka is a developing country. Then we have to implement in this fourth revolution, beginning in a simple level. Then we selected 3D printing. Why we selected this? 3D printing is virtual things. We can touch them. We can experience hand-on experience in 3D printing. That's why we selected. This is less advantage that when things are when compared to virtual reality, cryptocurrency, blockchain, like that things, it is intangible. We can't touch that. But 3D printing is much comparatively less advantage, easy to learn, and availability on open source like Blender, like softwares. Creativity involvement, because Sri Lankan people have more creativity, and low cost. Low cost mean we can some people, majority of people can buy that type of 3D printing machine and like that things. Educate unemployed youth about 3D printing and design. Our target group is age between 18-35. Selected area was Kegol district, because Kegol district near to Colombo, and they can access to internet, and those people are know about somewhat technologies, and they can access to resource person in Kegol. That's why we selected that area. Why we selected to unemployed people, youth. They are unemployment, then they are seeking some opportunities to earn money. Then they have some time to dedicate to this industry. They are always seeking new opportunities. Then they have some time to dedicate this industry, and this fourth industrial revolution and 3D printing. They always the young people in Sri Lanka and Kegol, like developing when we compare Sri Lanka, not develop in Kegol much like Colombo, but it is developing. It is they can they people innovative, and then they people aware about new technologies. What is our methodology? We initially we plan to make a study pack. Study pack means we select board of people and make some study pack by using Moodle software. Most of people know about Moodles. Moodles mean some website in education purpose. Why we select that Moodle software? Easy to access, self-study, self-evaluation, that quizzes and all. We can evaluate it selfly. That's why I selected Moodle software. We plan to, by using videos and course material, and again give a theoretical knowledge. Then we want to give that hands-on experience. Hands-on experience. We establish some point of Kegol district and make some laboratory FabLab like that things. Then we will give us hands-on experience. Then we want to find that people we want to find that group. Then we inspire that target people. Social media promotion, like always unemployed people are searching some opportunities. Then we will make some social media promotion, awareness of job opportunities. Then we make some role models, because some people in Sri Lanka and Kegol and areas find them 3D module 3D making job something, and like people. Then we will make laboratory and community. Laboratory mean the Noodles software. It's develop theoretical knowledge. Then we will, if they pass by using quizzes and assignment, if they pass, they will expose to some laboratory experience. Then that laboratory experience, example, FabLab in Makandura, then they will get some hands-on experience in 3D printing. Then that people want to earn something. Then that knowledge they have to sell. Then we will introduce that people freelancing side. That things like Nalin will add something. Nalin.
Yes, here we are going to introduce these successfully completed people, our program, to some kind of freelancing sites, because that's the problem in Sri Lanka, because many people are taught many things, many diversified things, but in practical situation, they don't use it. Even in our government schools, there are plenty of diversified subjects, but in practical, only few of those subjects will be practically they will be used. So we are going to introduce these people after completing our program into some kind of freelancing platforms such as Fiverr, Upwork, and Freelancer. So you can see here, this is Fiverr. So you can see how people sell their talent in this platform. In this case, you can see over 1,000 orders they have. This person has completed, and still 4 orders in the queue. And you can see his premium package. There are it is $35. So you can see how much they have earned. And the next one is Upwork. Even Umesh, could you please go forward? This is Upwork. You can see here there are some clients have asked for service. Someone has asked for 3D modeling and 3D printing for $300. And next one is Freelancer. Umesh, okay. Here also you can see that kind of services are offered. And the next one is 99 design, and here you can see people have contest. People have participate in a contest, and one person has won the contest. It is almost $600. So I'm telling this because when the theory is applied to particular practical situation, and if they can earn, that will be sustainable. Otherwise, if we force to do something, it won't work, because they have to have some kind of benefits from what they have learned. That's why we are going to introduce these people into freelancing. And here we are going, this is how we are going to measure the success. We are going to measure the success in 2 ways. One is academic success, and other one is freelancing success. Academic success we can measure using quizzes, assignments, and practical which they were given in the labs we created. And the freelancing success we can measure by using feedbacks and rating they are getting from clients, and the earnings they are getting. And this is you can see how the feedbacks came in these freelancing platforms, and the ratings, how they are measured. You can see here. Could you please go forward?
Yes. Nalin, I will wrap up this presentation. First, we will make some. We will select some target audience. Then that is unemployed, age between 18 and 35. They will get theoretical knowledge by using models. Then that people get some hands-on experience FabLab. Then that people introduced to freelance site. That freelance site guide by good experienced freelancers decide to introduce that freelancer siders. Then they will category mean they sustainable. We evaluate their comment and their earning rate, like that things. So Nalin, will you add something?
Okay, could you please go next slide? Please go to next slide, please. Okay, this is here we are going to explain how this is sustainable. As I mentioned earlier, this here we are going to introduce these people to freelancing, because they can earn something. That's why we have selected unemployed youth in Kegol district. So they have willing to participate in this. Once they feel like they are earning from this, they are getting their financial status is getting high. So they will automatically search.
Your time is up. You will have to wrap up fast.
Okay, and we are going to create a community, and this community will inspire them, and we are going to give some kind of successful experience by using the successful members, and we hope this community will go with the time. Thank you.
That community will develop the new people, because when get some experience that basic community, then they will give the other people also. Then that knowledge is sustainable. They goes like pyramid. Thank you giving us to time present our idea.
Thank you very much for the presenters. Any questions from the jury?
Okay, so since you are like targeting on like kind of existing Fab Labs and stuff, I hope you would have better understanding about the numbers that you can target on, let's say short term first year, and then long term or medium term 5 years, and long term 10 years. Like what are the numbers that you're targeting on?
Yes. In the practical situation, we can't go for 1,000 students. Probably in the first year, we can go for 100 students. So because we are going to educate them, and then we are going to support them to go for freelancing. So we have to teach them what will happen in freelancing, and we have to support continuously. So we can't manage a large group. We are going to manage around 100 people in Kaigol district. So if it is successful, if it was succeed, we can introduce this to another group like us.
So your project covers both design part as well as 3D printing, or you say what is the ratio like between
Yes.
part and the design part?
This study pack covers the theoretical part, and that's that how the 3D model is designed using some kind of open source softwares like Blend or something, and then they can get practical exposure in the labs we create.
The sustainability part I am referring, because now almost there are limitations in the 3D printing. Now that's 4D printing and all is coming. How is sustained? Because there's a limitation on this area.
This sustained. That's why we selected unemployed. When they are getting paid from foreign clients or something, they will automatically get into this field, and they will search for new things. What are the new technologies in this field? And so they will sustain, because they are getting paid. That's our main point.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, but how would your program will be funded? Because like in order to continue your program, you will have to have funding.
Yes, we have to find sponsors for the initial stage, and when the people, let's say we would be able to create 500 successful people, they will also fund in the next stage to our program.
Thank you.
Because they earning from dollars, then they will we think they will fund us, because their community also funded us.
Initially we have to find sponsors.
Any idea about the cost part, like what will be the per hour cost, or because you have to be competitive now, like even the today's there are, especially the industry, so we have enough 3D printers and all. So with that, how you are going to compete with the market, and do you have any market already captured, or how you are going to capture the market? What's most important to capture the market? What is the strategy and how?
Yes, even in freelancing platforms, we don't see many sellers for 3D printing, because plenty of freelancers doing graphic design, such as logo designers and other relevant materials like magazines, flyers, books. Those kind of services are offered majority of people, but 3D printers and things like that are very less in freelancing. So it is there's a huge gap to fill. Still we don't have resource people to fill that gap, so we can create those people to fill that gap.
because this 3D printing is implemented in agriculture, and that not go yet. Then we can hope future will marvelous.
Why do you think that there's a gap just because there are less number of freelancers? Can't it be like there's no demand?
Yeah, there's a huge demand because I myself as freelancer, I also doing graphic designing. I have also there's some kind of platform in this some kind of section this especially in Fiverr, they can request their if they can't find sellers, they will request in that page they need this thing, they need these things. And I have seen many of the time they have asked for 3D modeling and some kind of such related things because they can't find the sellers in the market. That's why they are openly asked for sellers. So I think there's a huge gap we need to fill, and we don't have much sellers in these markets, so they can success very easily in a short period of time compared to a graphic design or something.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any more questions from the jury? Okay, if not, I think since so if there are no more questions, I think we can wrap up the session. So I would like to first thank all the presenters who stick to the time plan, and we were about to, we just managed to finish with 3 minutes delay. That's really nice because everybody helped us to achieve this target. So that's very good. So before we wrap up the session, I would like to get the opinion from my jury panel members. So first of all, I would like to invite jury panel to give their opinion individually. Then I will wrap up with the overall picture. First, I would like to invite Professor Pathirana, if he's there in the session, to give his overall opinion.
He's not here, he left.
Okay, then anyone from the jury panel?
Yes,
Dr. Cicera, can you go ahead first?
Yeah, is it like general comments or individual teams comments?
I think overall comments will help in this stage. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great interesting because especially the youngers who are joining here school children also, but see that they are involved in this. I think that's a good start, and we have I think covered most of the areas. These 7 teams. There are some area we see the improvement. I always take as always for the room for the improvement. That's what important, especially the feasibility of the. You have to think how is suitable to the country like. Explain like we are having the economic problem and all this having some economic impact and what kind of feasible also I think we have to more focus on that area, and having the knowledge and gapping this all areas is good because that will give I think total change in the education system, because especially the changing of these people like coming with people are now more used during COVID period, not they are using the digital technology for the education purpose. This is I see very gap here because they like to have games, but yes, that also you can get some idea. But what is real important is how we face this challenge using this advanced technology for education purpose. I think that's what my initial comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cicera, for your very valid comments. I think it's really important everybody to realize the applicability for the main target, that's mainly for the educating the youth using the Internet of Things or Industry 4.0. I think when you consider about the applicability, always you have to look into the sustainability of it, and then feasibility, especially the economic feasibility, viability also play a bigger role. So thank you very much for your valid comments. Then I would like to go Dr. Subodha's opinions or comments, overall comments of the presentations.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Like there were participants from various age groups, so it is very interesting to hear their thoughts on, thoughts on this technology and from various age groups, because different people look at technology differently, and like because of the diversity, they can come up with like various new ideas. That is the most important thing. Through hackathons, that we can get the newer ideas from some of those ideas we can even take forward. Even like there are certain things that we haven't even thought of. So like it is very interesting, and given the time that for them to find an answer, and given the time for them to present, I think they have done a good job. There is always room for improvement, so this is a very good experience for them as well. So thank you very much for giving your time to come up with your solution and like organize these presentations and delivering the presentations here. So yeah, we'll see the results, but rather than the results, I think the experience is more important. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Subodha, for your detailed views about the overall presentation. Is there any comments from the jury members before I wrap up? Anybody wants to come in from the jury? Okay, so if not, I will wrap up the session. So thank you very much for all the presenters. I think all of you have explored various possible methods, technologies which can be adapted to Sri Lankan youth to educate in this dimension or domain. So it's basically covered via a wider spectrum of the technologies presently available or connected with Industry 4.0. So I think you have very good understanding about the availability of different technologies. That is very nice to hear from you all within a short period of time. I think you have gathered so much of information and then tried to apply them to the main focus target area. So that's really impressive. And I think in long run, though you very ambitious about adapting these things, I think as some of the other jury members mentioned, you have to, when you are going to implementation or when you are trying to implement this in a local context, you have to identify the local setup, especially the context where you are going to apply, which includes all these economic issues, then language barriers, cultural issues, and adaptability to different levels of communities, etc. So therefore, I think there are a fair bit of areas you can think with more detail and then try to see how it could, how your proposals could go one step further to be more adaptable, more implementable. And meantime, when it comes to the technologies, I think though with this Industry 4.0 Internet of Things, it is kind of very much closer to our doorstep, but there are some gaps in between. So you have to identify what are the gaps and how to bridge those before you go to implement these things. Because certain things you can just introduce, but when somebody wanted to implement, when somebody wanted to practice or practically use it for some of the applications, then there are some gaps. So therefore, you can educate the way you presented, but especially even if you take, for instance, virtual reality, augmented reality related stuff, those are highly demanding technologies or concepts at the moment, but also you have to remember that practically doing something in the class also very, very important, because all these things you can't do it in a virtual environment. One day you have to practice these things, or not the technology, maybe some of the activities. The ones you learn in the education process, you need to practice. So therefore, virtual environment, digitalized environment is always not the final solution. So while stating that, I think I would like to conclude this session. Basically, Industry 4.0 is the future for the industry. Already it is embraced by many countries, and Sri Lanka also embracing. So therefore, it should go to the other sectors like education and various other sectors which are bit behind when it comes to the productivity, traceability, etc. So therefore, I think it's good that this kind of competition brought into Sri Lanka by FabLanka Foundation, because education also we can get very much very broad advantages out of these technologies. So therefore, in future, if it is being used in a correct manner, I think we as a society should be able to improve our digitalization or digitalization related literacy very effectively and efficient way, so that the barriers to go for some of the new technologies can be broken very easily. I think this is very, very timely area to discuss. Thanks a lot for the organizers for introducing this kind of competition for the Sri Lankan youth and regional youth. I think this is really useful, and this will be one of the key milestones for us to be happy in future once these kind of technologies goes into local education systems, especially the school level, so that in future we will have very challenging competitive youth to take on future challenges of the country. So with that comment, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Chaminda Hettiarachchi. Chaminda, please take over the session.
Thank you, Dr. Sheila. Thank you very much. I think it was very inspiring to watch all the senior and highly achieved jury in consultation with the young guys from the schools and also professionals of the industry. This is very inspiring because, as Dr. Sheila just mentioned, industry 4 is not just diffusing digital, physical and virtual worlds, but also across the generations, biological generations. So now we can see the very senior people as well as school children working together, creating co-creation of new knowledge and sharing ideas and debating and elaborating. So congratulations to all the participants. I would request you to switch on your videos back. This is our last session since we started, we kind of completed our agenda a little bit earlier, so we can, I think, close also earlier. So I really like if you can, for example, switch on the video and involve in the next few minutes. So let me again share with you the PowerPoint I shared before regarding the schedule. So this is our close-up session. We did a slight change in our agenda to have the panel jury gave you an overview about the presentations and their overall quality and implications. Now, now let's. I want to also now before going to the next item, I want to share with you that when you were presenting, I had the opportunity to connect to the central session which happened in Lithuania. So they selected, I think, 10 people from all 52 sites, and I was the second to connect, and they asked about what we are doing. So since we are 4.5 hours ahead, I have to tell them that we are still starting, and we are actually it's going on parallel, and they were very happy to have somebody from Sri Lanka, because the guy before me, the lady, was from Belgium. She spoke in French, and they were doing the hackathon inside a primary school of 5 years old. So I heard they were shouting, you know. So it's very interesting, but ours is, I think, very diversified. We had 3 country people, different age groups. So it was very interesting. And I didn't really actually pay attention to who did what, because I have this, highly qualified panel of judges who evaluated you. So we don't know, for example, till tomorrow evening who are the winners, but we will also streamline with presentations today as well as tomorrow. We have 3 more groups to present at FabLab Makandura tomorrow. But I think when I look at some of your presentations and the ideas, they are really good. Now, I was joking actually. Some of us, mainly people, founders of FabLanka Foundation, have been kind of trying to, have been struggling actually do things like you said, how to bring this to the villages, and how to have a center, and then how to multiply this by multiple centers, how to reach more people. I think Jury asked very valid questions, how you go from 50 to, I don't know, 5,000. So it was really interesting and very, very valuable. I learned a lot actually, and I will look at also all of your slides. So now, before going to what should happen next, I want to maybe get some idea sharing by the participants, people who presented, not about what you did, but your overall experience, your learning, general thing. Maybe we will start from group 1 to group 7, from Brunei, Nepal to Sri Lanka. You can just share within 1 or 2 minutes, like what is your learning and how did you, manage the challenge, and what you learn, any difficulties overcome, things like that. Maybe Chandran, you can call the groups by name. Yeah, Jesse's already just
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Chaminda. Jesse, please switch on your mic. And, yeah.
All right, thank you, Miss, and thank you, sir. So, my general experience over this whole forum session, wow, I actually did not know about all these things I've studied about Sri Lanka. I didn't know how other people didn't have this opportunity elsewhere, especially since we're living in an upgraded, advanced technological society, with the use of phones and social medias everywhere. So what I can say is that this whole discussion from all teams, it was wonderful to hear, and it was very insightful. And I really do hope to hear that these ideas implement somewhere in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, next group. Maybe you go to Nepal, 2 Nepali groups. Chandan.
Hello.
Yeah, next.
Koshi group.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Okay, so thank you so much. This is actually a very awesome experience to be part of some international competition, and it came out of nowhere to me when Junu ma'am introduced this, and I was so happy, and I wanted to be part of this. So I hope that this research I have done today, our team will be implemented somewhere somehow, and I want to see the future build up in very awesome way, so that now when you think of something and actually see it implemented in somewhere, it's some kind of dream come true, right? So that is, I think, one of the best things that can happen to someone. So I hope good things will happen to everyone. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Niraj. Next, go to Distria or Drisha. How do I pronounce it? Drisha?
It's vision in Nepal.
What's the meaning of Drisha?
It's vision.
Vision. Oh, Drisha. Okay. Yes, Manish, it's over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So talking about my experience, it was very fun to meet you amazing people, to have this great opportunity to share our idea and to know different technologies and to know all the perspective of the people. It was great honor and great privilege for me and for my team to participate in this event. I hope to see you guys in future. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Manish. Next goes to Tech Panthers. Are you here, Mohan? I think they have already left. If any member from Tech Panthers, are you here? If not, we can move to Future Me. It's you, Minuti and Senuli. Over to you.
So first of all, I'd like to say thank you for the organizers, for FabLanka, and all the project managers, everyone on site, for this wonderful opportunity. So firstly, we got to know about this competition from our father, who told us about this. And initially, we didn't kind of have any interest in this because our exams are in like 1 week. So we were mainly focusing on studies. And I vividly remember our father making us sit down and just forcing us to study this. And then at the first try, we kind of like found this industry 4.0 technology is so fun and amazing. And we learned so much in this past like 1 or 2 days that we would have ever learned in an entire year syllabus at school. So really, thank you so much for this opportunity. And yeah.
Thank you, Sanili. So we are also happy, and I'm sure your father also very happy to see your performance today. Okay, next go to Team Deval. Team Deval is Shami Gunawardena, Nisha Piris.
Deval. Ladies
Deval.
College.
Yes. Girls from Ladies College. Are you here? Devangi, Michela? Seems no one. So then let's go to the...
We have Michela.
Michelle is here? Yeah, sure.
Hi, everybody. I just like to, on behalf of the whole team, just thank everybody here, the organizers, the participants. It's been like amazing experience. We learned so much, and it was really fun working together as a team and making the presentation and the speech, and then listening to everybody's ideas and presentations today. We really learned a lot and had so much fun along the way. Thanks.
Thank you, Michela. Thank you for your team as well. Okay, last but not least, we'll move to Infinity team. Team Infinity.
Yes, thank you for organizing this event. This is a very good experience because this is my first time participating in this kind of hackathon. After I said goodbye to my university, I haven't even done a presentation actually, because I don't have to. I'm a freelancer. So, but in the future, I hope you guys organize this kind of hackathons very often. So I hope to participate in it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Nalin. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Chaminda.
I think you're on mute. Chaminda, you're on mute.
When people say I learn a lot, and this is what we wanted, people to, we call them embrace industry for technologies. So maybe 8 years ago we were also unaware about that. So we started learning now. For example, as a teacher, as a lecturer, I start introducing this to my MBA students, and we introduce this to Prime Minister Science and Technology Transfer. We introduce this to Arthur C. Clarke Center, and then Science Institute of Engineers. So now you can see how the society is evolving from that side to a knowledge side. So that's what we wanted. So that we have already achieved in this community. I'm sure you guys will work as next leaders, and then spread the message to other communities and your own constituencies. So now, first of all, let's look at. I think I almost missed the next item because of my overexcitement. So we want to also now ask the overall experience from our mentors and project managers, because they have been working very hard. We are working as volunteers because ours is a non-profit social enterprise. So we are now, for example, some of you will price us and even 5,000 euros, but we don't get anything, right? So, but we are really happy about what we do, to kind of let's say host you. So maybe I can ask from mentors first. I think start with Neura.
So this was my first time being I've taken part in competitions, but this was my first time being a mentor. And it was a really good experience, like helping children like me learn about Industry 4.0 technology. And it was really fun and exciting, and I'm very thankful for the experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Neura. Then we'll talk to Kavit, if he's around. Yeah.
Actually, I'm very thankful for all
Let me actually. Okay.
So I think
I have unmuted. You can speak.
there's a unmute conductor.
Unmute.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear Kavit speaking?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Because we are online. So I want to say thanks for everyone to collaborate with us for this event, because I think we this, that is enough to go, and I think this is a very important opportunity for me and all other members. This is my first time. No, it's my second time in international pathway, but I think this is different than other I pathway. Okay? And I learned a lot of things, and also I learned simple English because my English knowledge is bad, and if I want to communicate with others, I want to learn. I should learn English, and also I want to say our event not enough. Next day we are start our own site event, and my account. I want to show my other members, and they are also work. And this is our other FabLanka members, and next day event we are preparing for event, and I think that's enough. And thank you for all.
Okay. So just let me, since Kavit in front of me, I want to add two things now. First, when he said my English is not good, he said my technology is better than you guys. That is one, because he's a national inventors winner, and he has also been a part of international winning competition in the in US, right? US international. Yeah. So that's one message he said in a mild way. The second thing is now he still maintain in progress, because his team, his 3 teams are competing tomorrow in FabLab. So still very busy with organizing. I think some guys are here, some guys are still at homes because of flooding. We hope now this Brunei Nigam road will be clear by tomorrow, and others also. We have some ladies, only one lady here, and they will come tomorrow. So I keep save Kavit for tomorrow's additional ideas. Thank you, Kavit. Let's go to Chintagar.
Hello everyone. I also am very happy to take part this kind of global event with very diversified group, and I gain a lot of things and good experience. It's my first time experience this kind of event. As a teacher, we can implement this kind of method even in Sri Lankan school also to solve problem. Then expose this kind of problem solving method. And when we join with the FabLanka Foundation, we get a lot of things and this kind of international experiences because of the guidance of the FabLanka directors. And I urge to the student who participate this event in Sri Lanka as well overseas, please connect with us in FabLanka Foundation and FabLab. We can join work in future furthermore. Thank you.
Thank you, Chingu. Thank you very much. Next, are all mentors covered? Okay. Then we'll go to our project manager, on-site project manager, Timira.
Hello everyone.
Yeah.
I'm here. Actually, although we teach 3D printing and stuff all the way here, but this is the first time we actually I participate in, and this is the actually wonderful event because we could meet many diversified people and gain a lot of ideas. So actually, I am very happy to be a part of this community, and I would like to invite other people in here to visit FabLanka and join with FabLanka to contribute our community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Timira. I almost missed, as I mentioned, Junu from Nepal, because she was maybe excited about her own students presenting, so maybe she wanted to be quiet, but you can't be quiet, so you have to share your experience of being a mentor, as well as how are you happy about your own teams and students. Junu.
Yes, first of all, I'd like to thank FabLanka team, Chaminda, Chandani specifically, who has allowed, given me opportunity to be a part of this team. To be honest, I had very little knowledge about this 4.0 technology, because I'm not a technology, related person. I belong to a management. So when this FabLanka Foundation's Chandani discussed me about this, I had very little knowledge. So it provided me an opportunity to make a research what FabLab is. So I find it very interesting, fabricating the dreams into reality, started from MIT. So it's slowly spreading all over the world. And this concept is in fact very new in Nepal. And so I found it that if this type of technological things is shared with my students, then it'll be very helpful. So within a short durations of time, I managed to get the 6 person into 2, that is divided into 2 teams. Very lucky to get these people, because they have been very energetic, enthusiastic youth who have actually they have shown a very good zeal to be a part of this program. So I'm very thankful to this Drishya and Satkosh, who have decided to participate in this program, even though they had a very limited time and knowledge regarding this event. They have worked very hard. In the late night, they used to text me, to discuss on this. So that was a wonderful experience. And to be honest, before this program, I had very little knowledge about these students, because they belong to an BIP, Information Technology students, and I belong to a management stream. So except Neeraj, I have not met the other students, even we are in the same college. So that is an so I'm very happy because they participate, they tried their best. Thank you so much. And thank you for providing a wonderful opportunities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, June. Thank you. You have done a wonderful job by connecting different people and young guys, and also connecting Nepal to Sri Lanka. I think we are starting new also flights very soon, and so you can come now. I used to go to Kathmandu, first to Doha and then Kathmandu. So I'm looking forward to take a direct flight. I think they started last week or something. So looking forward to see more activities also in Kathmandu in collaboration with Sri Lankan activities. Okay, so last but not least, this time the hard work in my kind of backyard, always supporting me and doing all the hard work and collaboration, and even dirty work of doing all the documentation and calling me. Chandani is the main person today in the online session. So Chandani, over to you. How do you feel?
Thank you very much, Chaminda. Actually, what you asked, in one word, I should say, I feel really happy about today's event. And yes, as you were mentioning, actually, I'm kind of emotional as well in terms of expressing, because I see the youth and how good they are. I really felt, yeah, present we have some, how do you call gaps, but future, I'm so happy to see like our future is like very positive. We have enthusiastic youth, and nice to see this youth performance and their kids, their interest and their awareness about what's happening around, and also the responsibility that they feel about the society. That's very good. There are a lot of positive vibes we gain from over here. And as the project manager online, I would like to thank you, all my teammates, starting from you, Chaminda. You've been the project advisor. Your leadership always is a strength for us. I know sometimes the way of working you is like you are a perfectionist, and it's not easy to work with you. It's like a lot of things following us, but all these make us, to get the best side of us. So that's thank you very much for you for that. And I would like to thank Dr. Sumeda and Dr. Subodha, Timira, Chunu,
We have to
Neora.
keep the thank note for the later.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. So
Thank
I
you.
want to say, because what I want to say is we are from different time zones, and working with the team, it was a real challenge, because I'm 2.5 hours back from Sri Lanka, and Juno is 15 minutes, and also Sumeda is 3 hours ahead of me. So when I'm sending even message, I had to send like straight Nepal time, Sri Lankan time, Sydney time, like that. So then it's very difficult even us to have some meetings, and we all were doing all this work with our work and this activity balance, and there are a lot of challenges. And also in terms of mentoring my team, also I would like to say thank you to them. And it was a challenge because they were not much aware of the Sri Lankan context, and it was like a little bit difficult them to get adapted first, but with the research work and all these sessions, and they were also doing well. So it means we got some challenges doing this within limited period of time. We arranged everything and it was successful. So that's it. I feel happy, and thank you, my team, and you, led by you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandani. And now, out of turn, I want to give one more chance to any participant who want to say final word. Only one. If you want to take a chance, please go ahead. Okay. If not, then I also have a observer participant, not really a participant, but one Mr. Nirmalan Das, who has been associated with FabLanka as an observer. Do you want to say something, Nirmalan?
Yes, unusually, I want to say something. I don't normally do this, but I spend a lot of time talking to people all over the world who are interested in where the civilization of us is going and the kind of path it is taking forward. So in the course of these conversations, I hear a lot of concepts which you wouldn't hear about in a university. You may hear about it in research labs, of course. And I was really surprised, pleasantly, to hear today 2 or 3 people who actually articulated concepts which are very closely related to some of these very advanced concepts which are at the frontiers of civilizational transformation. So today, it was really worth my time hanging around here and studying Chaminda, which is one of the things also that I do. So thank you, Chaminda, for that opportunity to speak to this guy, and thank you all. It was really great.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, everybody. So let's talk about what is next, for example. First of all, maybe I'll go from most important to you and most, let's say, sustainable ones later. Say, first of all, we don't know any winners. We have to collect all the evaluation from the judges, and we have to have an additional, talk with the judges and finalize 3 winners. But of course, 3 winners will be decided also by today's presentation as well as tomorrow presentation. So combination of this will decide 3 winners, and of course, winners will get cash prizes. We will arrange a separate way to do that based on the social distancing measures and the current situation in the country. But we will very quickly consult you or communicate to you. And secondly, now all of you get a certificate. Depending upon, I think all of you have registered, as I can see from my record. So you get a certificate from central team or European Union certificate. So let's look for that. It's a blockchain connected some technical certificate. But also now we will actually, regardless of whether you win or not, we will actually consult you all, because we also have some ideas, because I found very interesting ideas of some of you which we can directly implement. So now we will be doing some rolling out. We will help you to get funding and other advisors. For example, we have from the the judges, and also we had only few persons here, but we have a network of senior academics, not only in Sri Lanka but also other countries, many in Europe and North America. So we can connect with you to these people. And yeah, so and also we are as FabLanka, we are also trying different ideas, rolling out other Fab Labs in the country, so you will get your expertise and participation. So stay in touch with us, since we have your contact details. We will be in touch accordingly. And now regarding your challenge, now it's not just finished, as I mentioned at the beginning. Let me share the screen again. Now I have logged in as a participant. Now this is not my normal login. I have a host login, but I just for demonstration I create another account. This is not fake name, my own name. My second surname is Ramanayaka. So once you log in, you have this. I'm sure you have the same screen. You upload your solution option. Right. There, you have these, ideas and windows. So you can start here and then continue. Now, be careful when you are writing here. Now, that is why we ask you to fill the solution canvas. I am not going to fill it now, but some questions are straightforward, but some are, also compulsory and non-compulsory. Then you have the character limit. That is important, right? Now, character means even a dot or space will be considered as a character. So be careful to write it. So likewise, you can continue and do this. There are few options: introduction, solution, images. Now, even though today you presented PDF or PowerPoint, you can also have videos or other pictures if you want. You can upload there. So you can do the way you want. All of you have to do it, because then only you get the certificate, right? If you have a uploaded solution, then you are eligible to get the certificate from there. I hope this is not complicated. If you have any difficulty of doing this, please consult us. But as I mentioned to you before, they have uploaded also guidance. This is available in the portal. I think you can directly access that one. Please refer that one, so that you can, as I mentioned once again, Europeans always give a lot of guidance. So you don't have to learn anything. You just follow their guidance, and then you can do, if you have any problems, you can look at like the instructions given. This is the guidance to fill that form. The guidance is larger than the form itself. So, but it's good. So please refer this one. Maybe I can also send it to you by email, but it's available under resources in the portal. So this is about the solution. And you have to do this by tomorrow midnight, because I have set the deadline as tomorrow midnight. Please upload accordingly. If you have any problems, communicate to me or your mentor. Right, that's done. Now we talk about networking, because one idea of FabLanka is not just to, this is a social enterprise, non-profit. So we want to reach many people as possible. So that's our kind of a part of our work. Now, I just got to know that they offered all the participants free access to another kind of hackathon. It's actually not a hackathon. This is a ideation award. Now, this is also again by European Union. So check whether you can have a separate solution or similar solution. I think this is mainly about sustainable. Bauhaus is more like art in German. So this is about city and mobility, things like that, food. So maybe your team, based on what we did today with our consultation, if you like, we are very happy to advise you apply to this one. This is also very interesting, and this deadline is 20th November. I can send this one also, and you get seed funding to start your project. 10,000 euros, maybe in Sri Lanka rupees, it's more than 25 lakhs. Yeah, so the second one is 3,000 euros, and then I think third one is 1,000 euros. 2,000, 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000. And also you can participate at in event in Valencia in Spain. In this city, actually, I lived one year in Valencia, so it's a very beautiful Mediterranean city in Spain. So you like it if you go there. Okay, so this is about that another possibility or opportunity. Now we will also have Hackathon 2022 based on what we started and tested this year. We will do this in a more more organized. As somebody already mentioned, one of our judges mentioned, we had a very limited time because we were having some other activities at FabLanka. So we had to organize this and launch this in I think 3 weeks. So we couldn't reach many people, but I'm sure next year we personally believe that regardless of how you feel, we were very successfully hosting the event in terms of no technical issues, because I look at other events also, some are not even functioning. So we want to have more reach, more groups, more organizations. But as you have already noted, we had very high profile judges, also connection to some universities, even though intentionally we didn't organize university students this time because we wanted to give it to more open groups like A-level students and working professionals. Okay, and now Timira and Chintaka we are working with us for last 4-5 years, but they also joined us at the beginning as students. Now they are like the experts of 3D printing and Industry 4. Both of them actually got opportunity to get their 3D printing training in Germany, and also we recently had online training. So whenever somebody joins us, we allow them facilitate to get international opportunities. Maybe Niora already knows what we are doing. So please stay in touch. Even if I am going to be busy, you kind of connect to me and then stay connected, so that we have a lot of opportunities, not only hackathon, but other competitions, training programs, short courses, postgraduate or undergraduate studies, scholarships. So stay in touch. You can also connect to my LinkedIn. If you have LinkedIn, you can find out them in the our profile. All right, did I miss anything? Yeah, so stay in touch with FabLanka for other opportunities, but for people who have shown us some interesting ideas, we will connect back to you, and then we'll suggest how you should go ahead and how we can help you. And also we will connect to different Sri Lankan as well as international universities. Every week we actually have, every month we have weekly meeting, but every month we will have different topics: system engineering, design thinking, a lot of other business related topics and technology related topics. So we can invite you there. As I mentioned to you, this is not a private company. This is not something we want to glorify ourselves, because we have other areas of getting our things done, but we want to spread the message. We want to train people. We want to reach people, and we want to connect people. So it's we want people to copy us. We want to have more Fab Labs everywhere in the country and in the region. So when you have a new idea also, you can reach to us and we will talk to you. Okay, any final questions if you have, then you can also type in the chat function, or you can ask directly. Okay. So thank you very much for all the participants, and I will invite Neora to do the last words or word of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to deliver the word of thanks for today. First and foremost, I would like to start off by thanking Ms. Chandani Tilakaratna, the online project manager, Mr. Thimira Tilakaratna, the on-site project manager, as well as Mr. Chaminda Hettiarachchi, the project advisor, for organizing this event and bringing the FabLanka hosting team together. I would also like to say thank you to the hosting team for the tireless work they have done to make sure that this event went off as a success. A special thanks to the distinguished judges of this challenge for taking time off their busy schedules to be here with us today. Thank you to the organizers of DigiEduHack, their partners and their sponsors for making this event possible. Lastly, and certainly not least, I would like to say thank you to all the participants here today for your attentiveness and the interest that you have shown in taking part in this challenge. Once again, thank you to everyone who is here today. It has been a great honor to be a part of this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Neora. Thank you very much. So thank you, everybody, and good night from FabLab Makandura and from Sri Lanka. And hope to see you again and again for different activities and to work collaboratively. Thank you very much and good night.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you and good night.
Goodbye. Good night.
Thank you and good night.